The program you're about to watch features real adults using real adult language playing out fictional scenarios that may mimic real horrific events. Viewer discretion is advised.
Our audience members are welcome to participate. We all know where that can lead. Sincerely, the crew of the Crystal Cob.
Hello. Test.
It's always in your intro.
We're here.
Oh, hi!
Hey!
Wow,
Look at
bird.
us. I'm mirror image Drayland today. See my Altoids?
Ooh.
Not to you
Fresh
guys.
minty
This is
bread.
stream. That's why I really wish Discord we can disable that.
Disable what? Smell-o-vision? Or?
No, the way
What?
my camera
That's
is
a
backwards to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
This
they'll do that
episode
for me
brought to you by
because
Altoids.
I'm going through
You can't. Oh, we got a wheel spin. Hold on.
Streamlabs.
Wait a minute.
I don't know if
We have
it's
nothing
here.
left to spin. We have no more wheels to spin.
There it is.
Show
I
us
had it
this
ready.
wheel.
Was that just the sound effect? Is there a wheel?
No, it's
spinning
weird.
somewhere?
Avlina, you get a reroll.
Fucking sweet.
I had it ready. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, it was
I would
it was gonna
expect
happen.
nothing. Come on, Green. Ooh.
Oh boy. Anyway,
Oh.
I don't know, Drew. This is your shindig.
Oh yeah. So what do you guys think? Did you guys have
Your
fun
clam bake.
playing D&Ds? We got Panic with us right here below me in his pirate ship.
Hey.
He was
What's
a
up?
trusty member of the crew on the Crystal Cob, and you guys
Yarr.
left him in the center of the universe before you relocated it, and he's kind of hanging out.
My reality
Yeah.
no longer exists.
I mean, not for us, maybe for you.
He basically
No.
got warped into an interstellar library, but then he broke his glasses.
Aw.
Oh, I remember that episode. That was such a good one too. Oh. Then he got mad at Rocky afterwards.
Wait, why do I owe you $50?
Oh, damn. What'd you do?
Ooh,
What the hell deal did I do?
I don't know. It was probably something with rollerblading and bowling.
Oh my god. My arm is just starting to feel better by that now. For those of you who didn't know, Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Went bowling for 4+ hours.
Oh
It was
my.
only supposed to be 2 hours, but they didn't turn our lane off, so we just decided, hey, let's go.
Keep on going.
Nice.
Yeah.
10 games of bowling.
Was it an Amish place? They double everything, you know.
No,
True.
because I got green. Oh,
Wooden
okay.
balls.
Oh.
Oh,
No, that's actually what is that called? That's called candlesticks, I think.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's actually like
Oh,
he's
I
like
was thinking about
smaller
balls.
wooden balls and the
Games Amish
pins
for $100.
are thinner.
How do you know this shit, Ryan?
I'm a
Ryan,
wealth
don't
of
ever do trivia with
absolutely
Ryan.
useless knowledge.
If I ever need something useless, I always go to Ryan.
Exactly.
No, that's wonderful.
Because he's him. Yep.
he's him.
Anyway.
Ooh.
So this is our talkback episode. We have our wonderful DM, writer, director, producer, tech guy, all around funny
Cameraman.
man. Yeah, all around everything. Dre.
Do a thing, too.
We got Chris, who played Karasok.
Hi.
We have Misty, who played Avina. We have myself, who played Krakow. And we have our wonderful all-around crew member,
Yeah.
The Panic Games.
I just
The
put
Panic.
jokes in chat.
who just puts
You know-
his PP in butt in chat.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
ship you picked for your background, that is what the Crystal Cob's deck looked like, with the stairwells going up
Oh.
on either side,
Yeah,
the little
they did
crew
have it
area.
exactly like that down
Jerry
here.
Cobb, like.
I got so lucky.
That's amazing.
I randomly picked the ship.
If there was a big telescope at the front, right behind your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These- I think that's the back. Is that the front of the ship? That's the
Well,
back.
no,
Yeah, there's
the
all
back,
the
you
wheels in
look
the
at-
wrong place. Never
I
mind.
can quickly put a
That's not-
telescope there if you want me to.
He's like, I have the technology.
Yeah, I can
He's
do
looking
this.
at the
What the hell did we call that? The
Arc cannon, I think.
Arcannon.
Arcannon,
Arcannon.
yeah.
Yes. I kept forgetting that. And I kept forgetting not Gain, Trolloc. I kept forgetting Trollic's name. That was the first time that I remembered his name.
Yeah, after it's over.
After it's all over. I remember every single episode. It was like, Karasek, go tell your friend. Who? You know, the guy who runs the ship. Oh, Trolloc? Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
I started forgetting it too, but I had them all written down, so I had to reference it, like on my cards.
We had some important characters to me. The Trolloc, the ship's captain, and also our engineer, the guy who built all our stuff.
Yeah, Gan.
Gan.
Gan the man.
Those guys were super vital. They were performing a lot of roles for us.
Yes.
I don't know if we would have had such a cool ship without old Gan there.
Yeah.
There were definitely like
I could do it. I can do it. What you want?
Okay.
Wings on a boat? I got it.
I loved how you guys also were trying to figure out how are we going to pay for this, and you're like, let's go talk to the king. Okay.
It's a rich fella.
You guys originally figured it out.
Money.
The king was a pretty cool guy, and he was very open to things. So you guys, all right. Like when you're trying to hide around and sneak around, it's like, if they just went, in my mind, I'm like, if they just go talk to the guy, he'd be totally open to just like take him down there and talk to him about what he knew. But I was like, but you didn't know that. That's what I really loved about doing this campaign. The way we did it was I had a lot of stuff going on. Like I had an overarching thing, but I didn't want to tell you anything. I wanted you to figure it out as we did it. And that was amazing. That so I just give you, from your point of view, what your characters would see and see how they operated. Because I know Chris at one point was like, "Oh, we yes and ourselves into a flying ship." The ship that was the point of the whole thing to see if they would be able to put all that together.
Wow. Love when the plan comes together.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, all the clues. That's why all the clues were there and everything. It was like, oh, that's cool. I love the way it all came together.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
I love how like our characters kind of like grew into themselves. Like at the very beginning, Krakow was just like, I want to steal everything and just make all this money, and then eventually became like human.
Oh, I don't know.
He had a story arc.
He had a story arc.
We were just talking about.
Well, because like, all right, so like this is the way like I thought of it, right? So like with Krakow, like starting with the whole like basis of the planet having the three gods and the one that was like the black sheep of the gods, and him having to worshiping that one and having to keep that a secret, and like being basically the black sheep on Tribus and having to keep that hidden, and having this like kind of more or less sinister but like wanting to do right at least by him thing, like screw everybody else kind of mentality. Once it got to that part in the story where we go to the moon and confront what I believe is my god and kill her, it's like, well, now what?
I'm not sure.
So like it just like steered for better. Well, definitely for better. His like whole thought process, and it like shattered his reality.
Yeah, rudderless a bit there. After that, he was like, "What do I do with all this?"
Like, what do I do now? What am I?
I'm curious to hear that from your point of view, Lenny. What was I? Maybe that moon, the goddess lady, didn't need to die. She seemed to almost be playing a neutral role. Did we buy that wrong?
No, she was pretty much kind of evil. But from her point of view, her whole role was to repopulate the planet after it was harvested. That was what she did.
That's what I clued in on. And I'm like, well, fuck, that just makes her a farmer.
Yeah.
On a high level.
And she was also there.
True.
She's also was there as kind of a scarecrow too. She was kind of protecting outside people coming down there and affecting the crop as well. So that was their kind of thing. And I love that the thing that Ryan was saying about his character going through, about he grew up worshiping this deity, and then when he was confronted with it wasn't what he thought, really. Which was kind of the premise of the campaign. Was the three planets out there, or the three suns out there, that was influencing these people. Well, as they are evolving as a culture, they're going to obviously start worshiping these things. And then the trickster one kind of going around is causing a little bit of chaos and keeping everybody on their toes. It resonated with his character. But those entities out there were mostly influencing them for their own means. So as a culture was growing up worshiping them, they didn't realize that they didn't have the people in their best interest. So it wasn't what they thought. But as a people, like, oh yeah, we're going to worship them, but
they have no idea exactly. That's going
never meet your heroes.
Yeah,
clearly. They end up being black dragons that you have to kill in outer space.
Exactly. That age-old tale.
I mean, had you not killed her, I mean, she probably would have came back and did some other stuff. I was gonna try to feed in some stuff on, like, with maybe she did something to the side of the ship and everything on her way out. But you end up finding, like, the black scale, and that kind of went away because it was gonna cause some influences later on when you're out there doing stuff, which was kind of cool.
Ooh,
there was a lot of stuff that you guys stopped from happening that you didn't even know was about to go down. Just by, this is neat.
nice.
Do tell. Come on, lay one on us.
It was gonna, like, I had a whole, like,
we're dying in space.
you guys got a taste of it with the barnacles. Like, it was gonna be like
I was just going to ask you about that.
Oh, really?
I was just going to ask about, like, how did that, like, become a thing?
So I was trying to think of a way she cursed a ship on her way out, or she did something to the stuff out there. So I was like, well, there's gonna be barnacles down there. Maybe they kind of evolved into something horrible just from what she did on her way out. And it was gonna be there was 2 different ways I was gonna go with it. One was the space barnacles, which is what you had. Another one was an unseen entity that you couldn't see. I guess I'd make it unseen. But see, I'm not good at words when I'm
double
on the
negative.
spot. But some kind of but it would go in and it was going to affect everybody and do stuff, but I'll save that one for maybe a future thing.
But that was really cool. The way that you introduced the barnacles was really cool. Like, with people disappearing off the ship. It's like, we're flying in space. Where the hell could they have gone?
Yeah.
And the whole, like, that led us to the revelation that the ship, while in space, has its own center of gravity.
Yes.
That
which
like,
was
we can walk on it.
Yes.
And that was face plant on the ship though, or something to do that, or didn't something crazy? How did that work?
You guys were lowering the elevator out.
We were lowering the elevator, and it was like kind of sticking to the side, and I was just like, I was thinking about it, and I was just like, well, that's weird. And then, like, when bad stuff started happening with the barnacles and Evelina not getting off the elevator this time, I was just like, there's no time to get the elevator back up to tell people to come and help. I'm just going to try this and see if it works and run up the side of the
Which
ship.
was amazing. I totally pictured that visually in my head when it was happening. It was so good. And then when you jump back off,
it was like one of those. Yeah, it was like visually just like, elevator, run. Elevator, run. What would Krakow do? He'd run. And then you run up, and then it's like, everybody get down here. Don't bother with the elevator. Whee!
Oh no, you
Mario'd out.
Yeah.
Whee! Yeah, it was cool. I love the way the dice actually helped tell the story too. That's when, like, people died in the things, but then one guy died, but then the other guy got his leg ripped off, and
How nasty.
Oh,
Stubbs and Stubbs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stubbs died.
There should be a memorial. We should have a cupcake with a candle.
Deliria died then too, didn't she? Did Deliria? No, Deliria died somewhere else.
No, Deliria died.
Deliria died later, much later.
Yeah.
Not with.
I remember Chad also having some nice descriptions of your barnacles.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I definitely remember that.
I don't.
What?
I wasn't really like, okay, so the whole
Space
time, like, I was,
maybe, I can't remember.
when things were like, like kind of involving, you know, like serious kind of moments, like, chat was an afterthought for me, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It was so hard for me to keep up with chat.
Yeah,
doing all this stuff.
there's some talented stuff going on in there too. That's for sure.
There absolutely was so many times that so much of that is what we were able to. I mean, at least me, man, I was ripped all the time because when you're live on a show, you want to keep things bouncing and fun and happening and interesting. I can't tell you how many times chat.
That's why chat's here on the talkback. They're right here.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, you're a character
He
too.
just happens to be a king. Not the king, not the dead
Just
one.
so
Not the king.
it just so happened.
All right, I gotta show you some
King.
behind the scenes stuff now.
Ooh.
Oh,
We'll start
really?
off with Avlina's
We get
Brewing.
magic?
You guys want to see
Aw.
the mechanic behind Avlina's Brewing? Or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to see it open.
Next. She's not important.
Whatever.
Okay. Share screen.
Oh, I'm all expecting to come up in Discord. I'm wrong, aren't I?
No, it will actually. Yeah, it's gonna come up in Discord. I'm gonna try to share my screen.
Oh, it is? Oh, cool.
Oh, good. Discord caught up. What are we talking about now?
We're gonna look at my brewing.
Lenny is
Brewing.
bringing up Avlina's brewing charts and how that stuff worked.
Oh my god, that was like the biggest secret of this whole campaign.
So this was one I had an idea of. Was like the whole. Can you guys see it? Okay, it's a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is dope. That's cool.
So it was funny. It was one day I had the idea for the brewing to be very random because she was kind of random. So I made a spreadsheet here because we've got a weird fetish for spreadsheets. And so I had my daughter, we sat here and we just typed in a whole bunch of colors. So you see there's 23 colors. And then we got to flavor.
Chartreuse is listed.
Chartreuse is listed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Teal. And then we got spotted, striped, and rainbow. So I had to do a completely
Periwinkle.
custom thing. Periwinkle. But the fun thing we did was with flavors. So she just sat here and typed a whole bunch of flavors. So we got cinnamon, lemon, burnt toast, onion, the color blue, animal poop. My favorite was
That's very
like
specific.
Yeah.
we got shame and regret. Chicken
Oh.
nuggets.
As flavors.
Yeah. Tasted that.
I love
Baseball.
how you farmed out the. That is awesome.
So
I got
that's
things
the-
to do. Help me with this.
So yeah, the garbage, crayons, whiskey, garlic, wasabi. So there's 100 different flavors in here. And then my effects, I just
Wow.
kind of, I've only got 15 effects. These would come to me as I was driving. Like I've got one here. It was unable to be knocked down, pushed, moved. Unable to be knocked down or pushed. Your movement speed on land is halved and you cannot swim. It's called lead feet. Resistance to
Nice.
bludgeoning, slashing. This was one everyone looks and sounds like you. I think one of you got that one at one point.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
see.
no, that was
Oh.
hilarious. That was who was that? Was it you? Krakoff, was it you? Didn't you get the one where everybody looked like you?
It was. I don't remember.
Or
It was
was it-
either me. It might have
it
been.
was.
Wonder that
Is that
Pretty
the
sure that
being
was-
John Malkovich or something?
Yeah, I guess.
Such a weird one.
Or shit, was it me?
It was somebody. It might have been.
I
It
can't
was-
remember anymore.
It had to have
But
been
I-
like really early on. No, because like I remember early
was.
on, like I only had
I'm horrified to go back and watch our show.
I only had the one that made me deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to be very loud.
Yeah, the advantage to stealth. You had one advantage in 1d6 to stealth, but have reduced hearing, so disadvantage to perception. You're unable to speak without shouting.
Oh, I remember
So-
that.
I wanted to make these where they were fun because it gives you an advantage, but it also adds for a fun role play element too. So that's where most of them came from. My favorite one,
Yeah.
which always messed you up, it came up a couple times, is this one right here, number 8. Nothing.
It definitely came up like the last in
always
either part 1 or part 2 of the finales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing
It's
happens.
like
in-
What do you
animal
mean
poop and
nothing?
regret.
Oh yeah, because that was the one that Evelina drank, and she's just like, "See, everything's fine."
Yeah. But the way that the mechanic came up on here, so anytime that nothing comes up, the color was always going to be clear, and it smells and tastes like nothing as well. So it's like, what is this doing to me? So
Oh.
it added paranoia. It was funny.
I got one of those. I got one of the nothings. I thought it,
Yeah.
it should have
messes
been like
with you.
it's kind of like water.
Yeah.
You're like, are you sure this is right?
Evelyn just threw a bunch of shit into a
And the
pocket.
thing, the thing is, like, figuring how like these things tend to go. Like, I figured there would probably be a potion that was like, it doesn't do anything, but it's going to make you think that it does something, and it's going to be a surprise and jump out and murder you later.
What the
Yeah.
hell was the one that made me do the woos all?
The one that was where is it? Max health boosted by no. No, it was like a temporary
max
hit
health
point ones.
reduced by 1, but like,
Yeah, you got like some temporary hit points. Oh, where was it?
or was like,
There
I
it
think
is,
it
right here,
was
number
like
6.
your max health is 1, but your
1d4
AC is
plus
like
your character
10.
level AC boost. There it is. 1d4 plus your character level AC boost and 20 temporary hit points. However, max health is 1.
Jeez.
But I like to give it to this is what your character's feeling when after they drink and front this. One here you guys never got, which I was really hoping you would, is number 9. You see through the eyes of a nearby creature until it is killed or the potion wears off. You are blinded to your own surroundings.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
You never got that one.
Oh,
Which
dude,
would have been
and
cool.
Was it
You,
like a rat in
Was
Yeah.
the creature random?
Yeah, it would. So I left them kind of open ended. So based on where they're at, that's where I would fill in the gap on how they're feeling or what creature would be. So if it was like on the ship, maybe it's just a
Okay.
random rat scurrying about. So you're not controlling the creature;
Wow.
you just see through its eyes.
I would have loved this insect.
fucking
Evan.
horrifying.
Oh, yeah, it would've
dude.
been fun.
Crazy.
You know what kind of
That would've been
psychosis
amazing.
that could create?
Yeah, that's why that's why I did most of them. Yeah, then the health one. Yeah, I love the max health. Oh no, the blister one. 1d4 plus 2 large blisters form on your body.
Oh.
Each
was-
time
that
one
was-
is popped.
Did you get the pretty Healy blisters?
I
Yeah,
did.
Ryan did,
He
right
did.
when he went to talk to his god. He has big blisters on his neck.
So unfortunate. So unfortunate.
Nice.
That's why you killed it.
So here's
It
something
was
you guys
just
never.
security.
But that's
You
when I
guys-
learned not to drink the damn potions.
Yeah, he never
Aw,
drank much more
come
after that.
on.
That was a really good one if you think about it.
Yeah, I-
You had to
Yeah,
dissipate
that
on
was a great
charisma.
one.
Your
But, like-
potions are the best party favorite.
So here's one you guys never had to experience side effects to her potions. So
What?
you guys did this once, and luckily it paid off for you. So, or not so much side effects. You guys never had to do side effect. So there's a little calculation up here that it was doing on the top here. It says if you requested her to make a potion, it had a, or was it? It was like a 50-50 shot that actually, no, I didn't think it was 50. It was like a 20% chance that you would actually be able to, she would make what you requested. I
remember asking specifically for one of the potions.
Oh, yeah, look, it was a 25% chance of it getting what you want.
Wow.
And she got it. So it automatically did the calculation. So what I did down here, anytime I typed like the number of potion, it automatically computed all this. And then up here would tell me if the request would have been satisfactory, and if so, I would told you what you got. However, something you never did is nobody ever drank more than one of these. If you would have drank 2, you would have to make a con save based on this number, and if you would have failed, this is what would have happened. So on the second
Arm goes numb.
arm goes numb.
Nice.
So there's a whole side effect chain on there too. If you would have drank 3, the con save goes up. 4 plus, the con save goes up. And the failed effect would always change based on that.
So repetition is what gets you into the side effect. You don't want to get too like dependent on these potions. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
These things
'Cause
are.
that-
I
nobody
kind
ever
of
wanted
felt
them.
like with that randomness though that you
Go
can't
figure.
depend on that in a fight. That shit's for bar fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there were some really most of them actually gave you some kind of benefit. Nothing
Yeah.
there's only a couple that there wasn't actually a benefit that wouldn't benefit you in battle. I mean, even the imaginary friend one might have benefited you in battle by having another set of eyes on there that could look at stuff that nobody else
Oh,
saw.
I like that
Every
one.
single
I forgot
potion-
about that.
Yeah, I think
that
was Tony. I think it was his name. Came up.
Yeah.
But
Tony.
that's the one thing. All the potions, except for the one that did nothing, had some
Nice.
benefit in battle. So there was nothing negative in there unless you try to drink more than one.
So in
That's
that
funny.
respect, we were never quite brave enough to take a
No,
No,
but
I just
that makes sense for
developed-
characters.
It wasn't that. I think it was just very well in character. Like, as far as Karakov's concerned, like looking after his own ass and not wanting these weird ass side effects to quit them anymore. Like the being deaf and having to shout thing was cool because he made him stealthy and he enjoyed that. But
Yeah, it's got an equal side effect. But if you didn't talk, you had you were invisible, basically invisible. Even
yeah.
like the blisters, you had a disadvantage on charisma, but 1d6 plus 2 temporary hit points as a bonus action. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I just
Nasty listeners.
no, I agree. Like the things, the outcomes generally were outweighing the effects, the other
Right.
effects, but
Gave you pause at the very
Yeah.
least.
But as a person in
But I
the
think-
in the world, yeah.
yeah. But I think also the relationship that Krakow developed with Evelina was like rocky at best.
Aww.
Definitely some trust issues.
Oh, maybe
Here,
maybe-
have
maybe
another
that-
one.
Like,
Stay on the fucking elevator.
I love it. But that
maybe when
was
it came to combat time, but I don't think that I didn't ever sense a problem in the relationship when it came to a social aspect.
Oh yeah, no. It was always like a combat thing,
Combat
but I
issue.
always like held that against her.
Yeah.
It was like constantly holding it against her. Like,
It's like,
we're
remember
going-
that time about the elevator?
but it was like, but it was really funny because it was even before you even joined the campaign. Like
Yeah,
it was with the
before it was me.
NPC that
Yeah.
NPC was like,
started.
nice.
Like because Misty didn't kill the first camel. NPC Evelina killed the first
I didn't
camel.
kill the second one either. It was
Well-
like that when we found it.
after you blast the wall.
That's the story.
Well, see, all right. So you mentioned that. So like
Mhm.
that's one of the things where it was like, okay, I had to like thinking character wise, like keep her from freaking out. Just lie,
Make her feel better.
make her feel better. Like, oh no, it was like that when we found it.
And I'm gullible and I believe everything, so it worked out fine.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
And then we ate it, so that was
Yeah.
good.
Worked
Yeah.
out.
Fighting the crack of his ass.
That is not where that camel was at all.
I guess where the boulder ended up, though.
Yeah, that's what happened to that poor camel.
And that became like a story arcing meme. It was the freaking
Yeah.
camel.
That was fun to play with. Yeah.
I actually found a shirt on Amazon that says "I love camels" and like 3 people, and I was gonna get it for like D&D because it was us 3. I was like, that would be perfect. I might still get it for like memories though.
That's funny. That is funny, and that was totally like by happenstance too. That
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
not by happenstance.
No.
What, the camel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which one? The one that she hit with the boulder?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you guys way
Or
overdid
the
the
one
moving
that-
of the rock.
Wait.
Yeah, we overcomplicated shit. We could just move that rock.
You turned that whole cave-
by repetition. She
Huh?
killed like 2 or 3 camels, man.
It was 2.
Okay.
And then she made a third.
Yeah.
Dead.
So she's net
As a memento.
1. She's only down 1.
Memento.
Momenta?
Momenta.
That's the word.
Momentos.
Momenta, more problems.
Momenta. No problem.
Yeah, I don't remember what could have actually moved that rock. I just know the plan that you guys went with was way over, like, more than what was needed. So that I did a couple die rolls behind the scene. I was like, oh, damn, she just killed that camel. It wasn't even intentional. Like, I was just putting stuff in there. I was like, oh.
Exactly. So like that was
Nice.
just
Happy
like
accident.
happenstance. So like the first camel died because of arcane mishap or like
Yes.
complete misfire with scorpions in the desert, and the
Yeah.
second one was just like overachieving on moving.
A rock.
Hey, Scary Movie Society.
What's up?
Yes.
What we got over here? Couple
It's
streamers, couple streamers on Twitch, couple peeps talking D&D, peeps because it's Easter, D&D because the gamers. 'Cause I was playing D&D.
Upper steamers.
Well, you know the rest.
Twitch.
Fired.
Fired.
Yeah, you weren't fired, Baz. Keep telling
No.
you. You had to go and be an actor.
An actor. Not
You
one
got
of
called
us.
up to the big leagues. Well,
Bigger than us.
He
and
just playing that
the major minor leagues.
because it's easy.
I mean, I got fired as a DM, so
You did not.
There you go.
You were never upset about that.
yes, I did. I fired myself.
You fired yourself.
I
And
said,
replaced yourself with Dre?
That's a
I
Was
smart
that a
DM.
smart
I
decision?
said, Dre, do this.
Do this.
Jerry says he's in the middle of intermission right now. I rest my case, man.
Oh, this is the episode that we're censoring ourselves? Really?
Right? Yeah. That was nice.
Wow.
Leak yourself.
We had literally 24
Oh, yeah.
episodes to do that.
We
No.
never went like that deep into just,
Are you
No.
sure?
Fairly. I think all of it's innuendo, double entendre.
Oh, triple.
I had,
Triple. please.
I had a
Cosmo's
couple episodes,
not going to be able to join
especially.
us tonight.
Oh, okay.
Who?
I had
What?
a couple episodes,
Uh,
especially
Cosima.
the one where the tech stuff, which was my fault, found out later, was so
Heard
bad
that.
like I was not having anything bullshit thrown out. I was like, I'm not playing D&D. I'm playing Ryan playing D&D, dealing with tech stuff, not having a good time. But
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine.
Oh.
That's terrible.
That episode turned out really great for YouTube, though.
oh yeah,
Oh,
sure.
dude.
And it was the one episode that Lenny named. Well, Lenny asked for a name.
Yeah, I was like, I need
I
a name
love
up
that.
front.
That was so good.
I need a name up front.
Yeah. before I edit this.
And the
Edited
first
scroll
episode is the
thing.
only one without a title.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh, butt
Oh.
gills. We got butt gills in chat.
Let's just call it the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning.
I mean, going with like
Beginning and end.
tradition of like television things, I could have just put pilot, but
True.
Yeah, butt gills. I forgot
Yeah.
about butt gills.
I brought the butt,
Forget the butt gills.
brought the butt gills emote out
Oh,
just for tonight.
amazing.
for one night only. Tomorrow they get deleted off of the Panic Games.
Maybe it'll be a follower emote.
Get your butt gills today. They'll be gone
Probably ought to
tomorrow.
keep that. I mean,
because the
you're
potion
only dude
expires.
rocking butt gills. I'm pretty sure.
Remind me what the butt gills where that came from.
Oh,
We had to
they
go
were drinking
swimming.
a water potion.
it was a potion. It was a
It
potion.
was a lotion. It wasn't a potion.
It was a lotion potion.
a lotion potion. Ah,
Yes.
typical of Lena. Creating a lotion
Uh,
potion. I remember this one. This
what
is
might this
because
lotion be used for?
we needed her to focus on getting the right effect, which was water breathing, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So-
Focus.
We dealt with other randomness on the potion because that's how it rolled out, and that's how butt gills became a thing. I'm pretty sure. Tell me if I'm wrong, Mr. DM. Is that not it?
Once we got to
Aw.
Chalma, once we got to Grandala, we had to. There was a lake. There was a cave
Yes.
in the lake,
Yeah.
Yes.
but we didn't know if we could,
Under the
just
sea.
swim it. We didn't know how deep it went or if there was any air pockets or whatnot. So we devised this plan for what turned out to be butt gills. It wasn't the intended solution, but it was the solution.
It worked,
Was
okay?
the best
It
solution.
worked.
You're the one that ate it.
Oh.
I didn't
Stop being
have much of
salty.
a choice. It was eat it and continue being Sky General, or don't eat it and babysit the boat.
Babies.
Yeah.
Oh. I just had a text in question from my
Oh.
wife asking if I brought something up yet. I have not. 'Cause I had forgotten about it. So
Oh.
this is early in the campaign. One of the I think when you guys first got to the cave, and you were looking for Panba's brothers.
Oh.
And
Yeah, I was very confused about that. Okay, I'm glad that this got brought up. 'cause
yeah,
I
she
would've forgotten.
just reminded me because I was
This was dealt with. We handled this.
Wait.
But that night wrecked me. Like emotionally.
Yeah.
So there were a few ways you guys could have went about doing that. And I didn't think you would let them die. They were really good people.
Oh shit.
Like that. And like I was like you guys they were almost in my mind set up to be like onto your crew type NPCs.
Oh no!
And like
Sucks
they
for
were
them.
Never
and
get
they
attacked.
were ultimately really good people, and the owlbears killed him while you guys camped out at night. So, 'cause
Wow.
I talked to Heather afterwards, and she could tell I was upset about something. I told her what happened. She's like, "Oh,"
That's
and
great.
she even sent in the
We
text.
killed the
just now.
best
She's
people
like,
in the game.
Yeah, she's like, "It made me sad." They weren't the best people.
Aw.
They were just dudes. They weren't like overpowered or anything like that. But there was like it wasn't a critical one, but like a little mini story arc that they were going to take you through on what they were doing, why they were there, and all
Oh,
this
no.
stuff.
Oh,
And it died.
And you guys like,
So-
yeah, they look kind of shady.
Yeah.
What made sense for your characters? I wasn't mad at you, but I was just like, oh, those guys died. I like those
Aw.
guys.
How did we miss the key into like that something needed to happen?
So it was really subtle. You guys overheard them down there, but you could tell they were just drinking and having fun outside of a fire. And you guys decided to let them continue on that night.
And we
Yeah,
took a nap.
Yeah, then the owlbears came in and killed them all
wait.
throughout the night.
So I can tell you like that may have been like one of the first moments where I thought in this story that something with time was being really screwed up.
Well,
Because when Karasok and Krakow first go into the cave together to try and like find them, we found two bodies
Mhm.
from these like cave creatures that were like
Yeah, those weird
diving off the
things.
top, and we found the two bodies, and we found camping stuff and whatnot strewn about. But then it wasn't until after we got out of it where we found those two.
Were the actual
So
ones.
I thought that like the ones that we found in the cave were the brothers.
I mean,
and
I
that was
helped you guys
clearly
assume
in-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I was thinking like, okay, something's really weird happening because like we already found the brothers and they were dead, but they're sitting over there camping and alive, and I don't want to go anywhere
Ooh.
near them because
There's
Okay.
some kind of weird time
there's some
shift.
weird shit happening here.
Yeah.
That was my logic.
That's a pretty good one.
Was like I didn't want to like mess with a time loop.
oh,
I'm
that's
like, well, if they're
cool.
gonna die, they're going to die, and they're probably gonna die because the other them died.
Yeah.
You can't stop it
That's
anyways.
cool.
It already happened.
In reality, they were just two different people, two different pairs of people.
With the same initials, you bastard.
Wow.
You
But yeah, that's
slippery
why
little DMing shit.
that's why when you guys went to go talk to Panba again, where she was pretty upset, that was me being upset when you guys like afterwards, because all the memories came flooding back that next scenario, and I couldn't talk. Like that's why I said she just takes it and
remember
walks away. I was recomposing myself
Oh,
because
my
each
goodness.
time when I'm trying to put my mindset in these characters' frame of mind, and I literally couldn't talk. I was like, that's why she did what she did. It was nuts.
Wow.
That was the first time I ever felt that kind of emotion while I was DMing something like that, where I was like, I was her for a
You were
second.
there.
There was no way to recycle them. Like, whoa, they show up
Oh
over here.
no,
Okay.
that's not the way I wouldn't let it do it. I could, but that's not the way I am.
So
I
did
made
they
a
know the
world, I
owl
wanna-
bears? Did they know that happened, or is that just happened off? Like,
Well,
They
we found
heard it throughout the night.
shredded tent the next day, but we didn't know.
You knew it was
Okay.
owlbears that did it.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
You know, I'm just saying
Yeah, we
that
did.
we had no reason to think they would be any more in danger than us at the time.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean, they were jovial. We were
Yeah.
listening to them. From my
Yeah.
point of view, as being a ranger in the woods, I heard another like competent camper. Everything was
Yeah.
fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I-
I know better than to go fucking with people in the woods at night.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Which that's why I want to put it
learned.
out. I didn't mean this discussion to be. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
no,
mad
no,
at
no, I
you
think
guys. You
it's-
guys' characters performed
I
exactly
think
as
it's
you would,
cool
and I
to
love
see
it.
where everybody was at role playing.
Yeah.
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 You
That
did
like, we
it.
all had our own like perspectives,
Yeah.
and like what happened was ultimately
They died, which is very similar to real life. That's
Yes.
how
Yeah.
You would have needed a bold character that would have like their personality would have jumped in there and
Hey,
went
what
and
the-
confronted
Let's
them
go
or
get some
talked
drinks.
to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's fair. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool. Hey, you guys remember Panba actually made it onto the crew of the Crystal Cobb too. She was one of the people in the
that's
cave.
true.
So she
That is
came.
That
up
is
and
where I
helped.
heard that name. I
Yes.
remembered.
She was on the crew.
Because she was like the first person that we saved when we came back, right? Like her husband or something like that.
No, she was just in the camp
She was
that
just in the-
Falaman.
Who was the one? Who was the person that when we first got back and they were being chased by these like the melted flesh eaty harvester things?
Oh, who was that? Jerry, wasn't it Jerry?
Was it Jerry?
I think it was
Maybe.
Jerry. Because you guys found them in the cave, like they were all holed up in the little the hallway of the cave. Once you blew the camel apart.
I found it that way.
When we got back from the moon.
Oh, you're
like,
right.
we were
You're
in
right.
the desert.
Who was that?
Like when we got back from the moon, there was like a couple of people on the ground that we like were hovering about, and we were like, "Hey, let's go save these people." And we saved only one of them. The other one
we
got
were only able to save
harvested.
one.
That's right. I don't remember his name personally.
No.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. That's
No
right.
backstory for that
Unimportant
dude.
person number one.
I don't remember his
Yeah.
name.
Hey, that guy got a lucky roll as a backgrounder. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, you guys saved him though. It was kind of cool. And that was the first time I was like, "Damn, this ship is really powerful." Because you guys didn't go down there and fight stuff. You just circled and shot him with the cannon, which makes sense. So I was like, "Okay, that's cool." I was like, "This ship's
It
pretty
was
powerful."
perfect.
And
Man,
Stubbs.
I'm telling you, we need to make the ship bigger, better, awesomer, and go on to bigger, better adventures.
It should have been called the Quivering Cob, just for.
Oh my god!
reference.
Come on.
Hey,
That's what I voted for.
It has been 0 minutes since Panic made an off-color joke.
You got you should have like a little sign.
A little timer.
A little timer.
It's about that time.
Speaking of time, I got something for you guys.
Oh no! I mean, yay!
Oh.
time keeps on slipping.
Where is it?
As long as I get to keep Tasha singing "Sword," that was a cool thing to do for like the Halloween, like take us out of the universe and do a special thing.
So this is the funny part. You guys were in the universe. So
Really?
that's
because it was
where I'm
a-
going
it
with
was
this. Speaking
It
of
was a
time
dream.
thing,
Oh.
you listen to this. So
You see a young boy. He's perhaps maybe 9 or 10 years old, looking hopefully up at you.
you guys remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember Runny Kids?
Where was he at?
Is that Faln?
No.
Okay, then I'm out.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Was that in the wagon?
My whole town went in that wagon. My family's in there. My mother, Sandy, my father, Miguel, and my sister, Tabitha.
All right.
feel like we should know these people, guys.
No,
I remember-
not the people.
I know why we
no.
don't.
You remember the wagon?
Now
It's
listen
not
to this part.
Oh God, are we near Dorn or?
The boys, I'd never heard of Dorn.
Where are you from, boy? Where are we now?
We're in Frey,
Frey.
town of
Do
Frey.
any of us recognize that name? Where's the
Afraid
name?
not.
So you guys went to Frey.
We went to Frey.
Now,
Bring up the map.
where was Frey
No,
at?
Oh, wait,
it was that first
I
town
thought
that
this
we
was
went
just gonna be
to.
a-
Not the first town, but when we were flying through space.
It was on Chalma.
Yeah.
It was in
That
Chalma.
was the.
All right. So who did you meet off the boat at Chalma?
My whole town went in that wagon. My family's in there. My mother, Sandy.
My mother, Sandy. So now
Oh,
you guys actually went 9 years into the future.
What?
Mind blown.
and the wagon was the harvesting thinger.
No, this
Oh,
was
okay, then I'm an
outside
idiot.
this. But
Ryan, stop making Dre so deep.
so no, it's so
Nice.
we're not in the virtual tabletop. So in that virtual tabletop, everybody gave up a memory for a memory. And Karasak's memory was that he had a son named Gentry Hall, but he was a very disappointment to him. Karasak hooked up with Sandy 9 years prior when you guys actually went to Chalma. Gentry Hall is Karasak's son.
Wow.
Wait, Chris, did you know this?
Off and on, vaguely. Yeah, I didn't pick up on all of it together, but
That's
So,
interesting.
that's not really out of play for Karasok.
So, yeah, the memory thing was on. I was rolling off a table that was in the module. So I wasn't planning on him getting that memory. So he got that memory, but we actually haven't. But it was like a few episodes later where you guys actually went to Chalma, and then you met Sandy at Frey, and
Wow.
That night in the bar, right? That night in the bar.
Yeah.
I know that Krakow called dibs when she
I wondered
first saw
why I
her.
got so lucky that night. I was like, what was with the dice roll?
The dice is rolling for you. You actually were nice to her, showing her your Keona and stuff, and she was interested.
Whoa, hello.
Avlina gave her a potion that actually lowered her inhibitions a little bit, which was all via the
Take a look
chart.
at this.
None of that was planned by me. Like that all happened on the spreadsheet. So she actually made that potion that did that to her, made her a little more stuff. And
That's what I do.
it all worked out. And then if you go back to the that episode at the beginning, Karasok was like the one that was actually being nice to the boy and engaging the boy and looking out for him. But he didn't actually he didn't even get that memory till the end of the episode, so that wasn't nowhere scripted by me.
That's so cool.
That was really cool.
And
that was just
Now you got to go back and watch this shit just to see if.
Yeah, I gotta go watch it before that again.
just to let it hit.
And
with that in mind.
Yeah. And if you listen to it at the beginning, you could see he was looking out for the boy and stuff. But then you guys, and so, the crazy thing too was he got the memory from. So that memory that he got was actually from Miguel, his stepfather, I guess at the time. The boy was always a disappointment to him. Well, it's not his actual son. So deep down, he probably knew that. So I was like, what? This is so weird. It blew my mind because I remember going back and watching the beginning of the episode too because I was like, were there anything I missed? And for some reason, I was like, when Chris asked what the boy looked like, I could have swore that I said he looks like you but with pointy ears. But it just says it. I went back and listened to it again, and I just say he looks like a normal boy but with pointy ears. But so he looked like a normal boy to you, but with pointy ears because he resembled you. But it was weird. I was like, oh, that's so cool. The way it all worked out.
That is really cool.
What's up, my leg?
And so that when she was kind of standoffish that next morning is because she already had a child with Miguel at that time too. So that's why she was like, "Oh shit, what the hell happened?" Okay, and then she just kind of faded off because she had a little stuff going on in her head too.
A little too much.
Yeah.
Dan, did you pick up on any of that?
Nope.
I don't think
not a
anybody
bit.
Did you pick up on Ryan's kid over here? No.
Nope. Just
Oh, it's Chris's.
Chris,
Oh, Chris, not Ryan.
Chris.
Karasok.
Kid. Yeah, it's me.
No, I just thought annoying kid. Okay.
But also, just like pointing out, like, now that's a huge ass revelation. Apostrophe. Epiphany. That just goes into what my point was with that whole thing just being like, I'm going to take this one-shot campaign, insert it into my homebrew campaign, make it make sense. Like you gave it, like I thought it was really cool. Like you gave it a reason to be there.
Yeah, it wasn't just random.
Besides me saying, "Hey, let's do a Halloween special."
That works really well. I thought it was.
Chris and I went to a sex dungeon. That was fun. I like that episode.
Oh,
The Halloween episode.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that was cool.
Now I recall.
Oh, now you
that's
recall.
Panic recalls. I think he kind of liked it.
And also, if you guys went back to the episode 2 at the beginning, you guys looked at what do we look like? I was like, well, you look like you, but it looks like somebody drew all over you. Those were the tattoos that all the adults get. That was my own little flavor because I was already thinking I'm gonna seed this in as if you ever go to this other planet for the tattoo stuff. It looked like somebody drew on you.
Yeah,
Tatooine.
Mhm.
that was
So,
cool too.
Fun.
So remind me,
Mhm.
because at the very end we kind of went back to normal lives. I don't know, and if I'm overstretching my bounds, and this is like
Mhm.
things in the future. I don't know if we covered that, like if we have any kind of memory of what had happened.
You asked a little bit, and I was like, it felt like a really vivid dream when you woke up. You guys did ask that. So you,
Okay.
like, I think Karasok asked that as well. It's like it feels like a really vivid dream. Like you think it happened, but you're not sure. But I also
so we
hinted
don't-
at, yeah.
So we don't have the tattoos anymore.
I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead.
We only had,
Probably not.
No.
I'm gonna say no.
We only came away with tattoos in one location. We all
Yeah, that
got
was
a
a
tattoo
trauma.
at the very end. Trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
So like if we weren't there in reality, we wouldn't have them moving forward.
We
Probably
were
not.
somebody else. Were we playing the roles of some of the perhaps?
No, you played you. You guys, but you
Okay.
just remember you wished for your world to be a real world.
Yeah.
And it rewound your
then.
world to. So
Yeah,
you're
we were
Shut up.
dreamt
That's
into existence,
Right.
and our
Yeah.
existence
We're
was
not real.
was dreamt.
That is mind breaking right there.
The
Oh, yeah.
entire campaign, we were fictional characters in a
Figment.
fictional story.
in
We were inceptioned.
Except for
Yep.
the Halloween episode where our fictional characters played in that we have later wished for and became. Hold on.
Calculating.
Yeah. I mean,
Right,
as you,
Stanley Kubrick would be proud.
Okay.
oh, there was a lot of layers to it. Yeah, that was, yeah. But yeah, if you remember, so you didn't have Kaona anymore either. You actually had weapons at that point too, because the Kaonas never had to happen.
Yeah.
Wow, how meta! Oh, it was very
right?
Yeah, so there was a lot. So there was no Kaonas. You had one sun instead of the three, but it did pulse in different colors. What else was different? So the whole thing when you were there, so we know that the original Larock escaped back, and his goal as he escaped back was to seed into the culture how to stop it. So the one game you guys never played a lot of was the little sports game where you had to throw the Kaona to the top of the pole.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that at all because
But you did it at the very
that
end.
was totally memory hold.
Yeah.
Well, it was
But-
funny. I got to help Dre do that map before I ever came into the campaign. I remember like making the little ball hoop things.
Oh, ball hoop things.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, we'll go on break here in a second. But the last thing I want to mention, so that he seeded in that sport, but the dice game was a thing as well.
I totally loved the dice game, and I
did
adopted
too.
that right away. Like, that became. I knew that was one of the things that Karasok was big into. He loved
Yeah.
a little gambling. He loved that game. So
Mhm.
any chance he got a chance to play in the bars at night, that's
But
always
that-
for him was a thing. Was being able to like. That's almost like coming home for Karasok.
Yeah, and
Is an inn in the evening. You know what I mean?
yeah, and Krakow had the same kind of feeling, and maybe that's really how Krakow and Karasok kind of bonded when they met each other,
Probably
because they're
yeah.
very
On the
different.
business relationship.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're very different people, but like it was one of those things where like maybe Krakow needed a guide, hired Karasok, and on their travels they bonded over that, and that's how they kind of became friends.
Right. And yeah, for Karasok, it's all the gamut of he's more of a neutral sort of person than anything. Good in things and bad in things. That was kind of even his take on the whole four sons was that there were four sons. You know what I mean? There was never three and a moon. For him, it was they were always kind of in balance altogether. Natural circle. It was the natural way to look at it.
So wait, so what was the significance of the dice game in the whole
So how does the
Like
dice
dice.
game score?
pairs.
Okay, so you get a pair that were two of the
That's great.
same, but the
And
your
one
score
is
was the
different.
one
Oh my
different.
god, you are so fucking smart.
Somebody clip that. That's never gonna be said again.
It was the same. One is different. Two is the same. One is different.
You can't fucking read, but you came up with that shit.
You can read, you just can't speak.
There we go. Yeah. But yeah, the game itself I actually got from a different one, the mechanic wise, but I kind of changed it up a little bit. But yeah, that's you're right.
I'm fine. I'm just like my brain, like part of my brain just exploded a little bit. Like I feel it actually, like right here, going, "Whoa,
Baby aneurysm.
baby aneurysm." Yeah.
Baby aneurysm. So
Gaming. It was a gaming aneurysm.
Oh, I thought you said baby
Gaming
aneurysm. A baby aneurysm is probably not a good thing.
no, that's fine.
No,
Probably not.
that sounds horrible.
Hence the disclaimer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the disclaimer. Whoops.
But yeah, we've been going almost an hour. Let's get refills and we back in a couple minutes.
Yes,
Good?
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back. And we're back. I think. Can they hear me? Can you hear me? Oh wait, they can't hear you. Hold on.
Don't be muted.
All
again,
right.
Joe. Yeah, you're
You probably did it in Discord.
Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Yeah.
my macros are automatically muting me.
Oh.
But we're back. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
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 Cozima's here. That's great.
Hey,
Cosima, all the
Cosima.
big reveals. We're all
Hey,
all
buddy.
tapped out.
Yeah.
What do
they
you
were
wanna know,
cool,
Cosima?
Cozy. Yeah, what do you secretly want?
What you need.
What you want?
What you
What's
want?
your business? State your business.
little fire? Oh, everybody's yelling.
Oh.
It's getting excited in there.
Aw.
Where'd you get the coconuts?
I found them.
Propaganda's here.
Propaganda!
Hey,
Apparently 9
propaganda.
o'clock's when people pop in.
Yeah, we should start
Oh,
all
you
over.
missed all the good storytelling. You
Oh,
got to
yeah.
go back and listen to this on YouTube, bro. So,
Yes, this will be on YouTube as well as the entire 24 episode series, which is already up on YouTube of Tribus. Just go to youtube.com/the whole card. Probably.
You listen to the first
Sounds
Is
hour.
that how it
You're
goes?
gonna go back and watch.
I don't
it.
know.
You're gonna go on and know
Maybe.
what
Just
Probably.
go to YouTube and type it in.
Yeah. Well,
I
I mean,
always
there's a
search for it.
playlist. We have a playlist
we have.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
We got
of all
fans
24
with playlists.
episodes.
But yeah, like Chris was saying, go back and definitely listen to the first hour because there were some minds blown.
Dre blew my mind with his intelligence.
Well, I wanted
That
to,
is not
yeah,
set
I
off.
Yeah.
Wow, that's 2 times one
that.
stream.
I know.
Yeah.
How much did you pay him?
I don't have to pay him any. I'm gonna record that and I'm gonna play that every morning when I get up and look in the mirror.
Aw, it could be like your ringtone for when he texts you.
Blow my
true.
mind with
That's a bromance there.
That's sweet.
I pay him in compliments.
Aw.
Goodness gracious.
years.
And when he screws up, I'm just like, well, it's just a happy accident.
Danger zone.
Ooh.
Remember
Remember
Oh,
ringbacks?
my.
Ringbacks? What are ringbacks? I don't remember ringbacks. What are ringbacks?
Sounds.
Oh, ringbacks!
When you would
Ringback
call
tones.
and-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. And then it. Yeah.
I hated those.
Well, that's
I liked them. I liked them, but it was like, I wish that the person didn't answer because I enjoyed the song. Or please, it was one of two things. It was please don't answer. I'm enjoying the song, or please pick up faster. This song sucks.
This song is horrible. Pretty much.
For your ring Mac, you picked the worst elevator music you could possibly.
Well, because when they died, it all defaulted to the one like Pachelbel's canon thing.
Actually love that song, so I'd be heaven.
It'd be all about it. Huh?
Don't pick it up.
I love that song. I was there when he wrote it.
Oh, dang.
I was trying to make an old joke for Panic about, his phones don't have ringbacks because
You
he has like a little tally thing on the
Got the old
wall.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss
tiny
rotary
thing.
phones.
Rotary phone is what it's called.
Shut up, I'm not
rotary
that
phone.
old.
You young child.
I had a rotary phone when I was a
I
kid.
still assumed we were talking.
Yeah, my grandma had
One
like
of those.
4
Maybe
eights
it
in
was
her
a flip
number. I
phone,
hated
the old
calling her.
StarTax or
Yeah, old phones like
With the
smartphones from
Motorola?
2008.
the Razor.
Oh,
The
Ray
Razor.
has something old somewhere. He just went to go grab something.
It's gonna be
Uh
a,
oh.
I
a
had a
handle
gold-
and a black thing. Yeah.
Oh
it's
my
a flip
God! Is that a
phone.
StarTac?
Wow.
That is a StarTac. Holy crap!
Wow.
You have
I
one?
lost a charger to
You
it.
nerd.
When I could charge this thing up and turn it on, and it would give me a dial tone still.
What?
Wow.
That's
Really?
crazy.
StarTac?
Yeah. I don't remember where I found
I
it.
never
but I was
had
like,
one
I'm
of
keeping
those.
that. I got the charger. I just don't have the
charger.
adapter.
That's the upgrade that you
I
need,
didn't know
Panic.
if that works.
That's my next step. Is that
Yeah.
You have a StarTac.
I had the Nextel phones, the ones that
I
chirp,
mind.
little walkie-talkie
I'm
action.
going to have to charge it. I got the charger. I just got to get a DC adapter for it. Oh, okay. Where are we going with this? D&D?
Yeah, we were talking. So like we talked a bit so far about our experience playing the game and little secrets and in and outs that Dre made my brain bleed.
Melt. I think melt.
Yeah. So Panic is here as a viewer.
I've watched things.
Yeah. So like I was curious because like you're like one of our top viewers for like most of the episodes. Like, what kept you coming back?
Well, definitely, I just like, as in Twitch, you like interacting with Chad and being with Chad and just messing with people, try to break them on screen. That's the biggest reason I'm usually in somebody's chat.
Screw the story. I'm just here to fuck with you guys.
Just a
I'm trying
troll.
to throw
That's
my
all
dick
it
in
is.
chat. That's all I want.
Exactly. I want everybody to look at it, admire it, wonder why it's green, all those things.
I
But
have questions.
yeah.
You have questions that you don't necessarily want the answer to, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But more than that, so Panic Games started out like the first 6 months of my channel was D&D. We had like a 7-person D&D stream. So this really kind of it brought back, and after that point, I was done with D&D. I was like, I'm burnt out. This is too much. It was like during pandemic times. We're like the COVID times. We're playing online anyways. Why not? We might as well stream it. What the heck? But watching your guys has really kind of got the juices flowing about wanting to play again and jump back in my group and that kind of thing. So that was nice to watch it played and then running it and playing it and so I wasn't DMing it, but I was running the stream. So it was nice to just be a passive viewer and you guys were nicely interacting with chat too and incorporating some of it into your story. So that was really cool.
He said we were nice. That's all I got from that.
Do not clip that.
So many clip-worthy quotes.
That is my
From my point
reason.
of view, you were
I'm smart,
You were
we're nice.
so awesome. You were always throwing shit in there to riff up, to keep something active and alive. You were intensely fun to play with. You know what I mean? There was always something going on, and I think it was at one time between you and Kosum, the two of you. I said we probably need to make a chat disclaimer too.
Yeah. That's why we have
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Like before everything started, I was like, I know that we can get a little rowdy maybe for Twitch. So just to play it safe, I know that the filter's on. I don't care, even if the filter's off. Like if I turn it off and I forget about it, oh well. Let's cover our bases. I'll record a thing, play it, and then Panic got involved. And I was like,
hold my beer.
Now we
Here we
got
go.
one for
the
disclaimer just got real, yo.
And to be honest, what you saw in chat, that's exactly how I play D&D. I mean, basically, that's just I like the improvisational piece of D&D. So just cracking people up, around the table too is a big part of what I like to do. So That's what it was.
I appreciated it.
Oh yeah, we definitely all appreciated it.
That's why
What?
chat got in the stream.
You know, speaking of disclaimers, is anybody going to address the job?
You're cutting out.
You broke out. You broke up a second.
I said, speaking of disclaimers, is anybody going to address the marvelous job Misty did at our disclaimer for the show?
Oh yeah. No, we're not.
I
So moving on.
You can't give me a
Don't give her any compliments.
I think it's
No.
Can we roll it? Can we hear it? I mean, this thing is gorgeous. Listen to this.
Yeah.
You have it?
I think
Our
it's going to play
audience
my
members
part
are
too.
welcome to
That's all right.
participate.
It's all right.
We
They're
all
both
knew
good.
where that can lead. Sincerely, the
Gee,
crew
thanks.
of the Crystal Cop.
And I've heard the story of how this was created.
Oh, did you hear it? Or did we play it again?
No, we didn't.
Oh,
we
no, we didn't get to
We
hear
Oh, you
it.
didn't hear
didn't
it?
hear it, but maybe
Oh,
chat
no.
did. I don't
Chat
know.
probably did. Yeah.
Did Chad hear it? Did Chad get to hear it?
It popped up on chat at least. I
It
saw
did.
that much.
Yeah, this
Okay.
I heard it. Okay,
Oh,
so chat
they
heard it.
heard it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many takes does that take?
a lot.
A lot?
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so
You
yeah,
mastered vapid, sexy, like perfect. I mean, that's hard to do, and you nailed
So
it.
while we were doing it, Dre looks at me and he's like, Chris said you should be sexy when you do this. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to do that? Like, you're just hearing me talk. And he's like, yeah, just do that. And I did it. And I mean,
Yeah.
it took a while, but we
that
got
took
there.
so long. It
God,
was,
we
it
were
was
there like
two,
all
Long
night.
day.
2 or 3
Was-
hours to record that.
I love it. I love it that I got, like, I told him this is what you need to get, and he went and got it, and it's perfect, man. I love that.
To get the giggle when she
Oh.
giggles while she's talking, I poked her in the side while she got to that one sentence. And each of the sentences are 3 different takes, but the audio level mashed out perfectly. It sounds like it's all one take. But because she was
I thought it
giggling
was all
throughout
one
the rest
take.
of it.
No,
Huh?
I thought it
it
was all
wasn't
one
all
take.
one.
No,
That's-
those are
It's really good editing. Good job.
Yeah, 3 different takes. And each sentence is 3 different takes. But the giggle was, I was like, poke when she was talking. She started laughing, but she
Yeah, he
kept
sat
breathing.
behind me as I was doing it. He's like, let me not distract you. And he poked me as I was saying it. And I giggled. And he's like, that's perfect.
Nice.
Well done.
Yeah,
You nailed
that was
it.
great. I had no,
Bravo.
I had
That was
no
it.
part in that.
You wrote it, so we had to
So-
rewrite that multiple times to get the words because some
Oh,
of the words
God.
didn't
Because
flow
I
well
wrote
together.
it first. It had to be redone
Yeah.
5 different times.
Yeah, we wrote.
So
we
I
were,
did your part, what you wrote, multiple times, and he's like, "There's too many words here. Like, we need to make this shorter. How can we do this and still get the full effect?" And I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. I don't want to
And I gave you that
rewrite what
liberty.
Ryan did, but
No, I gave you that
Yeah.
liberty. Like, fucking make it sound good.
yeah, it was fun.
I'm
It was the
used to
first time ever
working-
doing anything like that. It was
So
cool.
good. It's so.
I'm
So good.
I'm not a scriptwriter. I never claimed to be. I just like whatever's on.
Yeah.
Meh.
Well,
Take
it didn't. Yeah, the original one didn't flow off the tongue, so we had to change
Yeah.
some words that had the same meanings because it was like a lot of like different words that didn't really go together. So it was like multiple rewrites and all kinds. It was weird. It's the first time I ever did anything like that. I think it was like 2 to 3 hours. We were at it.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
my gosh,
You know what's
I was like,
really funny though, like in the voiceover world, like, that's a thing that actually happens. Like because the people who do like marketing will write like copy for a commercial or something, and then the producer and casting director will look at it and be like, "This is shit."
let's fix this.
Can we fix this?
I mean, you know what? Nobody's taking into account there that the 2 people that are after the facting that motherfucker are still working on somebody's creative. You know what I mean? They're not creating something themselves. They are still functioning off of somebody else. That's even being the muse is part of the process.
Right, exactly. Like that's why I was like, I don't care. Like, do whatever you think sounds right.
Yeah.
Like, this is the basis. This is like the general idea that I want to get across. If it needs to be fixed, fix it.
Sure.
it was a
Do
lot
my
of
work
fun.
for me.
Yeah, that's all I needed though. Like a general premise.
Like-
Go.
Need to do it.
Here's the direction I want to go. That's point B over there. I think we should go through the forest down the hill and then up the hill, and then Lenny's
Have a
like, but
picnic.
there's and then Lenny's like, there's a straight path over here. Why don't we take that? I'm like, fuck it, you're right.
You're brilliant.
Oh, it's so fun.
Oh man.
So I did that, and it was after a stream that Dre and I had did, and we did that like all night, and came back the next day, and I was like, "What did Ryan say?" And he's like, "He loves it. That's perfect. We're going to use it." And at that time, I had just moved here to South Carolina, and they were like, "Oh yeah, whenever you want to come in, we can get you in." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And we talked and we talked. I'm like, "Let's just bring me in next week."
Oh yeah, that was
It
cool.
was all like right there together.
Wow.
Yeah, because you guys thought that I had recorded her saying stuff while I was recording the other stuff, and
Yeah.
she and
that was a
amazing.
total. I forgot that was.
I remember your expression. It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
you heard her
really
voice
weird.
first. You're like, "Oh, that's cool," and then like you guys were interacting with her. You could watch your eyes as it was clicking. It's like she's actually there, and it was so hard for me to not to because she was sitting right here.
I
and
was
like,
right there.
You just
Yeah.
do what I'm doing, not like say anything about her. I was like, "You just be
That was
quiet."
a special treat.
Yeah, he was like, "Don't you make a
And there was a thing
sound."
like that was a surprise as hell to me, because like I was just like, because like
Yeah.
from the very beginning I was just like,
For our
this is your
audience,
show.
that was-
I was like, this is your show, Dre. You do this how you want. You're running the whole damn thing. I'm a player. I edit the names of the streams.
I
And
talk
I
to the
make
computer. It's my one thing. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I edit the name of the stream, and I edit stream elements to make sure that we're playing Tribus and not a board game. And the rest is you, buddy, because I don't know what's going to happen. The only other input that I had was naming the putting the title on the episodes for YouTube that you edited. And that was just like, and that was always just like, I remember what happened, and I was like, let's make a kind of creative title. What do we think says what happens in this episode? Like, what, without saying what happens in this episode?
Some of those titles are super funny too, because they really play off of exactly what was the heartbeat of, like, where was that the funniest? Where did we
Exactly. It floats, like, it was very, very easy to come up with titles for these episodes, because it was like every single one, like maybe there was one or two along the line that I was just like, I don't really remember what exactly happened or like what big kind of moment was there, but like every single episode there was at least something that either made all of us fall over laughing or all of us want to punch Dre, or both. Fall
Doing my
over
job
laughing
right.
while punching Dre.
That's definitely a thing.
So yeah, it's very easy to do that. God, I miss it.
I know.
Aw.
I've got a question for you, Lenny. Are more than a few people in our audience said, "Man, it's always like it's so easy." So,
But did they?
like, oh yeah, we got that comment a couple of times. Like, man, you guys are never even kind of getting damaged. It's so easy.
That.
Yeah.
Not easy in another way.
Go easy on him.
Seen players, or are you being easy?
So
That is a good question.
that is something with, I think it's a D&D 5th edition thing. Once you guys get to a certain level, it's really hard to hurt you. And it was, for me, it was really hard to judge what was too much. Like, a few times I was like, this might kill them. And then it's like, no, they're okay. It's like, well, damn.
Let
I'm
me
like,
try
okay,
harder.
so this would be hard. No, so I was like I tried. It was really, it's a really fine line to try to. It was, I couldn't
Hard to
quite get it. I don't know if I made you too powerful, but so I just, in my mind, I use their calculators and everything for calculating difficulties and everything, and it would say it was like a very hard encounter. I was like, oh, okay, let's go with that, and it was not very hard. I was like, that's not very hard. I don't know if it was because you guys were just because
I was
like I gave you
gaming
a
the
whole bunch
shit out of our
stuff.
numbers. I really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just so I at a certain point I just, instead of focusing on like the difficulty and making it hard for you guys, I did what was right for the story. Like, what would they see here? How would they approach it? And stuff. Like at that very, not the boss fight, but like when you were on the center structure inside the center, when you parked the boat outside of it, on the other side there was a lot of people over there. And if you would have went over there, you would have had to fight a lot of people. Like, it would have been a lot.
Nice.
I was like, I don't know how many, so I just started throwing stuff over there. I was like, let's just see what happens. So I put a bunch over there. But you guys didn't go that way. I was like, oh, okay. Because that would have probably been the only time you might have had to use the like tattoo abilities and stuff, unless you had to use them down when you got to the boss fight. But the boss fight itself was really tough if you guys wouldn't have used a little bit of strategy and went the different way. But you guys got lucky a lot. Like there was a lot of randomness in the boss fight, but out of dumb luck, you were like, I'm gonna do it this way, and you just happened to do it right. I was like, oh, how are they doing this? Because going to the boss fight, there was the 3 dudes there, but the 3 dudes were one guy. So they were stationed around the area, and I had another spreadsheet that I had made that randomized it for me, so I didn't have to do a bunch of random dice rolls. So when you attacked one, there was like a 1 in 3 chance that it wouldn't be there. And you guys only attacked it once when it wasn't there, is when your sword passed through it. And Krakow was like, oh, only Kaona do damage to it. No, he just wasn't there. He was only partially there, so he took half damage.
But his wrong symptom worked enough.
Yeah, and it pushed you. And then
the symptom of the failure led us to the correct answer for the puzzle.
Correct. And then Karasaka was like, "Oh, I'll attack this other one then." Or I don't. I just think you attacked it just for fun. Just attacked a different one, and it happened. He was
I picked up on that didn't do damage anymore. I picked up on that. I was like, okay, I'm watching. That's not working. So I was running a couple of scenarios. Okay, either they're rotating damage, like they're going to take damage here. We're going to have to spots to keep track of it. So I was trying to get people to start balancing out our damage, or I was thinking that second scenario that one of them is just going to be untouchable, and then still my premise was do damage everywhere until you figure it out. That's all I was going on.
And it was moving around too.
And the thing with that last battle was, like, initially, yes, I think that all of us maybe thought that there's something different about this fight in particular. Like,
you were a bit cautious, that's for sure.
Yeah, we were definitely cautious about it. No, we were definitely cautious about it because it's like, there's these big dudes. We're 3 little dudes. Dudette. And they were all doing the one thing, that they were just like tossing Kaona, or what we thought were Kaona, into the middle thing. And like, that was a hint, and then the 2 things are the same, one is different was a hint, and then our Kaona being different than Evelina's was a hint. Like, you dropped so many hints, and still we were just like, at first, let's try to murder these things.
Yeah,
I want to
which you could have.
I want to smack the shit out of it. Like, okay, so like, if it had we not like come to the conclusion that like ending that battle the way that we did, with throwing Evelina's Kaona into the middle, and surprisingly, by the way, not surprisingly, but like just miraculously getting 3 direct hits with it.
Well, you finally use your tokens, because you were using her Kaona at a disadvantage, but you use your tokens to have it. And I set a difficulty.
True. Chat, thank you. Panic, thank you very much.
No problem.
Shout out to the wheel.
You're welcome.
Show us the wheel.
So I had looked at my chart here for difficulty stuff. So with Evelina throwing her Kaona, I think it was either easy or moderate difficult. So she either had to get above a 10 or a 15. I think it was a 15 to do it. And she had gotten 1, then she had gotten taken out. For you two, at a disadvantage, I upped the difficulty to hard, which you needed a 20 or greater. And you guys both got over 20 with your attacks and everything. I was like, whoa, they did it. And it was cool that each one of you threw one. So it was everybody.
Props to leveling rogue, Karasok. Props.
It totally fit. It went. Karasok's not done. I don't care.
Don't let go.
Yeah, I will not let go. He's not done.
But here's the thing.
And I'll tell you what. My DM knows me. He gave me a little key at the end of that. Makes him not done. He can go anywhere. I'm pretty sure. Am I wrong?
That's very true. He did.
Am I wrong or am I not?
I can't give any hint. I'll give you any hint from what we went through, but I can't give you any hint that might affect you in the future.
Word. I respect
there you go.
Season 2. Spring 2023.
Can you remind me, did I not find a key at the very end?
Yes,
You did.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. The white stag was there, then it disappeared, and there was some kind of odd key below it.
Yeah.
A white stag?
I might have read a lot into that.
The MacGuffin.
Are you the boss now? Are you big boss?
Huh? Who? What?
Never mind.
I was going to mention about chat wanting more like difficulty and stuff. I think with this type of campaign that you have, that's you want the story to continue out. You don't want a bunch of people dying. That it wouldn't make sense to beef it up. I mean, you can beef it up on the fly as the DM. You can say,
there was a couple times where I'm like, they might die. And it was funny when you guys went in that door, you're like, what's in there? And the guy said, the end. And you guys went through the door, and that was the end. That was going to happen 3 ways. Either you killed them, they killed you, or you did the Kaona thing. That was the only 3 things that were going to happen. You went in that room. And if you killed them, then you would have to figure out the Kaona thing in the middle to shut down that stuff.
So all right. So I have a point and a question. First off, the point, because it's less important. As far as ramping up difficulty in combat. So before Tribus happened, I was running Tomb of Annihilation for you guys. And I realized, like, with every combat situation, like, I kept on, like, trying to ramp it up
mm-hmm.
to as far as difficulty, and the players were just murderizing whatever I threw in front of them. It was like, it was kind of a little bit of a deadener to me, because the combat kind of became the same. One reason that I decided, here, Lenny, you run this, because I want to kill you people. And and 2, I was like, it's not. It felt like it wasn't scaling well, like as far as the enemy versus player interaction. And then there was that one time where I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to throw everything at the wall, including the kitchen sink, and put a goddamn zombie T-Rex in front of Dre, who was at full health and almost got one shot deaded.
One
by
hit
one
away.
freaking hit. He had 60. He had what did you have? You had 32 health, and it did 63 hit points of damage. 64, he would be dead instantly.
Instant death.
And it was like, and they still beat it. So, like, I think that might be a symptom of 5e.
I think
as
it is
far
too.
As the.
Well, I mean, as a DM too, you can choose. I mean, that's why you roll behind a screen, because you can choose what your rolls are sometimes if you need to control what the combat is. So, I mean, there's that piece of, there's an element of you having that control. You can leave it up to the dice, of course. I mean, probably most people do, but it's that piece that, hey, this is getting a little too easy. Maybe I'll up their hit points or something like that to make it a little more interesting.
Absolutely. No, I know that's a thing. I think that, like, for the purposes of, like, our live show, like, that might be like a staple on other RPG shows in general, as far as, like, DM making, raising the stakes by throwing die rolls.
Yeah.
I like that we're transparent with that for the most part.
You got to know our DM. He is a purist. He loves.
Oh yeah.
The dice are a character.
yeah. He loves that. That is part of his makeup on how he. You know what I mean? But that means you can die too. That means He will kill you.
Well, then
with
you
that.
should have stakes. I mean, there should always be stakes because otherwise, you just and that's the problem I had with some of the D&D campaigns I've been in. It just felt like go to town, start a fight, go to the village or go to the field, another random encounter, fight. It gets really repetitive and boring. If
Yeah, but
with
this
that,
was, but to that point, this kept being interesting even with transparent roles. Is what I'm saying, and like, and I don't think that it's Dre's fault that we like didn't. Well, some of us almost died.
Yeah,
at least I'm the only one who
You got beat up
There's
pretty
video
bad
proof
by
of
those
this. I think
owlbearers.
that I'm the only one who did not get knocked out.
You got
Did Chris
close
get knocked
at least a couple times. I know the owlbear fight.
I came
you guys got
close.
You
I
guys really
definitely
close.
friggin' came close.
I kicked ass wrapped up in a web.
Oh, God.
I didn't say you didn't. I'm just saying that I didn't get knocked out. Maybe I did. I might have gotten
you had
knocked
an
out
owlbear
once.
on you when you were like surfing the owlbear.
And then I rode the frickin' owlbear like a boss.
And
But
Avelina
anyway,
tried to
so
tame it.
to my second point, moving on. I want to know what would have happened had the attempts to throw Avelina's Keona into the middle of that final battle had failed. Like,
if you would have missed,
if we had missed, like, would the alternate plan, like, would it still have worked had Karasok and Krakow had thrown their Keona in? Because theirs were the ones that were no, it wouldn't
Just
have.
sucked him right up. Think about what you were seeing. You were seeing them throw charged Keonas in to feed it.
Okay, so we had to hit on three. So what would have happened if one of them?
That was why it was so important that one was different, right?
Yes.
That message we kept getting, one was different.
Right.
We walked
she
in.
didn't really use hers.
I
Right.
never
She never
used
did.
them.
She never did. But we walked in and we
I blew
watched
up camels.
something very
Yes.
to our Keona in there like food. So our weapons were useless. That was the first thing you learned, right?
But
there.
like we hit 3 for 3. I want to know what would have happened if we'd missed.
Yeah, what the consequence?
Would we have had to kill them?
Is that not a fair question, Chris?
No, I think what he's asking is bounced out. In my mind, it never would have said it. But would it have bounced? What would have happened?
Yeah, if you would have missed, like if you didn't hit that DC, it would have just kind of sailed over it, or depending on what I wanted to do at the time, it would have bounced over somewhere else. Somebody would have to go get it, and you're still dealing with the three dudes trying to attack you.
Okay.
That was why it was safe, though, is because those three Keona,
those three dudes hit hard.
They did.
They couldn't feed.
Yeah.
That was the point.
Yeah, hers were tainted. Like if you would have threw your Keona in there and hit it, it would have just went and fed the ritual. You would have been gone.
Yeah. No, I think we definitely figured that out. I think like my like real question is, because we were 3 for 3, like if we had thrown Evelina's Keona in.
Oh, I see.
And it had missed, would it have been just like sucked in and gone? And then we wouldn't have been able to actually complete.
It would have bounced off, or it would, by missing it, you missed the spot where it would have got pulled in. Like when you hit, it actually got sucked in, and it was just tainted, and it disrupted everything.
So I never caught that. Why
you said taint.
So I never really
Crack of his
so,
ass.
right in the crack of his. So she never really used it or put any kind of energy into her Keona.
So
they just
like she picked him out of the cave, did her little ritual, and then put him down and grabbed bottles and made potions.
Basically,
Yeah.
she used a different type of spell focus.
Yeah.
Like you guys put energy into yours by using them and everything. And the funny thing about the Keona, go ahead.
No,
Yeah, she never, like you guys using them, putting like energy, using them for weapons and stuff, killing stuff with them. You guys put energy into your Keona and they charge as with everybody else. But Avelina was a little different, where she's like, I don't want to use these. I'm gonna do something else.
These are
Magic.
nice.
And she had a little
but,
magic
no.
stuff to her.
Yeah.
Hers were just more of a, I'm an adult. I got these over here.
Love that. That's
That's
so
what I got.
cool. That's so cool that rolled in. That seems very organic. Did you plan that one?
No. Most of this campaign was very organic. So, like, when I first started, I knew that the three sons in the middle, the people had grown, the culture had grown to see them as deities of some kind. The trickster moon going around, and they had these spheres that they got as an adult, like childhood, or when they became adults, as their weapons. So then, go ahead.
I just want to acknowledge propaganda. Let us have a moment for the king.
Who's the king? Oh, the king. Oh, the king.
But he's back, though.
LaRock, not Panic.
LaRock.
Panic's like, wait, I'm like crowned with
Wait a
this.
moment.
Well, LaRock was the OG king. There he goes.
Yeah, LaRock
Was the
cool
OG
character.
king.
And Karasok really clued into that king. Like that was his
There's your
thing.
moment.
If you think about a ranger, the rangers are always really out there protecting the king.
I'm having a moment.
Ryan.
I'm having a flashback moment.
Oh.
I'm having a flashback moment where I realize, because I was told that LaRock was Carl backwards.
Carl.
Carl.
Yep.
Because like we
There it
found
is.
his body, and I was like, "No, Carl! Who's this guy?"
Yep.
Carl. Carl.
And that's how it's spelled right there in chat.
Who the hell's this guy? LaRock. Yeah, that's exactly how I've been spelling it since. But like the fact that there was like 2 or 3 episodes before you were like, LaRock is Carl backwards, and then I went,
We were like
Wow.
stumped. We had to go to break.
Yep.
"You bastard!"
Oh, yeah. So this story was just as much as yours as it was mine. Like I was saying, like the Keona and everything, like I had the general idea, so I knew the big bad was at the center of the suns. I actually, before we even started the campaign, I didn't even know what their motives were, like what they were doing. I know they were harvesting the people, but I didn't know why. And then,
Oh, cool.
yeah, so I knew that's what was going on, but the people worshipped them, but didn't know that they were just being used as a crop. Then the Keona were there, so for me, I was like, well, how'd they get the Keona? How'd the Keona get there? So I was like, a ship crashed. Originally, those were like the seeds for the population in my mind. But then I was like, that doesn't work right. I don't like that. Then halfway through, it was like the day that you got revealed what were the Keona. It was like an hour before I realized what the Keona were. Like, they were a third of the planet's population. Because already in my mind, I had spheres coming down, harvesting everything. I was like, what if the people stayed in the spheres and were condensed? I was like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, well, 3, because the 3 was like very prevalent in the campaign, because I like things in increments of 3. So 3 Keona, so that's that's the whole world in 3 Keona.
It's rather biblical.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of stuff like that.
You think?
Like,
during a pandemic, we had this. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. But this story was been in my mind for a while, and I'm just glad to see it finally. Because I couldn't have did it without you guys. Because I didn't know. I knew the world, but I didn't know what was in the world until you guys explored it. It was just cool.
You know, if I'm being honest, and I'm being honest,
Are you?
if you were to write this story down, I think well, we didn't write it down. We
21st century writing.
filmed it. Okay, so we vlogged it. I think that if you were to put this to paper, is that better for you? I think that you could get
use a
published.
computer, really.
Really?
You piece of shit.
Panic! Shut up, Panic!
It's funny. I
No,
tried to write
I'm dead
this.
serious. Like I think
Yeah.
that this is a story that could be published. Whether it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
just like even if it's like just like an adventure, like a fanfic novella or a D&D thing. Like if you were to like publish it on like an RPG thing, I think that it could be, you know, a viable thing that people would want to play. And
Yeah.
shoot,
I tried writing it once. Like I was when I've tried to get this,
but you
world-
can't read, so I know you can't spell either. So I got it.
Writing's hard.
That's why he
No, I
needs the
started
computer.
writing it at one point.
Yeah,
I've been trying to
You
run
can't get
this
cramped.
campaign for years, because I needed it out of my brain. And so at one point, like when I knew you a long time ago, when NaNoWriMo was kind of talked about on your stream, I was doing NaNoWriMo and I was writing this world out, but I couldn't interact with it. Like I could see the world, but I was having trouble putting characters in it and interacting with the world. And I would get like a little bunch of pieces everywhere, and I just couldn't get it together. I couldn't get a story. I needed you guys.
You didn't have a like. I feel like it's one of those things where like you didn't have a perspective to write from.
Yes,
Ink
I
and
tried a
computer.
different one. So Avlina's character was actually somewhat based on the character that I was trying to put in the story when I was writing it. Some kind of not so much as a bartender, but more as an astronomer type thing. And she figured out that the moon was slowing down. That was that character that I was trying to write that point of view from.
Yeah,
because she was more. Of
I definitely picked up that like that she was like a key or like the key character in this story, like fairly early on. That's why I was like, hey,
Did Misty get some prepping there for like
Not
what
really.
role she had to do?
No. I could have been any character I wanted to.
Yeah.
He told me I could make a whole new character if I wanted, and I wanted to be Avelina.
I was like, you
Oh,
can make any character. You can be a character
would-
that's already
okay.
there.
So
I so wanted it that way because I mean that was just the way it needed to be.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Here
Bar
was
astronomer.
Avelina at the beginning, right here.
wow.
Oh, geez.
It's backwards.
So
simple.
she's a
Wait,
bartender slash
Oh, I want to
alchemist.
go pause that. Yeah.
were those like all the notes that you gave her?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I had.
All of
So
that came out of that. Wow.
She
He said
so
it, not me.
I learned this on one of the
You
YouTubers I
suck.
watch for DM tips. OGAS. So occupation something I don't even remember the thing anymore. What they mean.
He's like, I don't fucking know.
Barstronomer
Whatever.
/ camel exploder.
I got her down as a bartender / alchemist. She likes to create unique brews and find ingredients. Her attitude is happy and distracted. Her other thing is she gets bored. That was her
Basically,
character.
I mean,
you
that's
just-
me.
So she was playing herself then.
You
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
just wrote Misty into
Yeah,
it
exactly.
before
You
you
put
knew
Misty
her.
on the card.
Well, that's what you guys kept saying, like that character was me before I was ever that character. And I'm like, no, Dre like made her way before he knew
Oh, yeah.
me.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
fit well. I mean,
Amazing.
But yeah, she did great. What was that? These are my notes.
so what you're saying is you were totally method acting.
Without the acting part.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
Playing
me.
oneself, you might say.
Oh.
It was definitely
Yeah,
fun
that's
though.
Oh, yeah. She did great.
It was absolutely cool.
But yeah, I'd like to reveal too. Just going back to that, I know we touched on it a little bit when I was like, because I know at the beginning Ryan asked if she wanted to be in, but she was moving and stuff, so there wasn't no way. But I was like, so he's already okay with her being here, so we're gonna do a surprise. We're gonna bring her in. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was so great surprising you guys. Like the
Yeah.
expressions.
That was
Because
cool.
you thought it was
Absolutely.
pre-recorded, but when I was responding to you, you're like, wait, there's something different here. It's like she couldn't know what I was gonna say.
Like with the last line, I was like, wait a minute, something's up here. Something's happening here that I wasn't informed about, and I'm okay with it. And then Dre actually, like, I think you apologized, like, hey, I hope that it's okay that I brought Misty on. I'm like, no, yes,
Oh.
do that. I'm glad you did. Continue to do things while I'm the player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Popper
Popper
did
Tim said that episode that we introduced you was great.
It was.
So what are you saying then, Popper Tim, that really came through into the audience? Like that was a shocker. Because that's
it was
cool.
a it was a shocker for me, and I own the damn channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You're like, oh shit, what did I get myself into?
that was brilliant. Like, listen, like as far as anything involved with D&D, like I've learned that DMing maybe not my strong suit. Playing also maybe not my strong suit, but I'm a little bit better.
I think you are a fantastic player.
I'm a little bit better at playing than I am DMing. But giving the DMing reins to Dre and saying, "Hey, this is your show. Do what you want with it. You don't have to like ask me for anything that you want to do with your story. Just frickin' roll with it. I'm a player. I'm okay with that."
Nice.
Yeah.
And I much prefer being a DM. I don't know why. As a player, I'm like, can I do this? Do I want to do this? Is this going to bother these people? But as a DM, I'm like, do what I want.
Never had those thoughts as a player.
What do you want to do?
Never had no player.
No. Oh.
So I'm
But yeah,
curious
yeah,
what
when
would have
you asked me to
happened
do-
if they didn't
this-
pick up Aveline at the beginning.
I don't know. You would probably made a different character?
Well, yeah, but I mean, key player.
At the very first episode, I hinted to Karasok that something was weird with the moon. So they might have cued in on that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Krakow was already looking for gems, which was amazing because I love that you made a jeweler, because the Trinity Jewel was always a key into getting the ship to fly. And the fact that you made a jeweler, I'm like, oh, this is cool. All right, what's the hook? What's the King's favorite? And it blew it. And I love how the story ended where it started, too. With the king coming in saying this is the favor, and it was the favor that you had crafted during the trip to the center.
And you know what? Just like you, like when good stories are told at certain moments, like there are moments where I get emotional, like whether I'm saying them or reading them to myself, and that all of myself,
All of yourselves.
all of the damn voices,
That's
all the
not
damn
even a
voices in my
Freudian
head.
slip, that's
Sorry,
a couple
Kelly, I have.
Deeper.
The person that you see tomorrow is not the person that you saw today. But like I too am like get that kind of emotional. Like that's a thing that like I couldn't separate myself from when I was DMing. Like reading a part that like when the players discovered something or did something that was momentous and like story changing, a revelation or whatever, like I couldn't keep myself from like being kind of emotional and like reading or reciting something that triggered that as a player when it's like read to you, like for that to happen, like that was kind of Krakow's like goal, is like to be recognized. That was like his ultimate goal, and I never told that to you. I never said that. Like I handed like he wants to be the best jeweler in the land. He wants to have that pride that that he's the greatest, and to have the story wrap on that. Like I honestly like went to bed after the last episode like 2 hours later than I normally do, because I was just like, wow. Like, it's first campaign as a player that ended, and that the character achieved the goal that they wanted.
Yeah.
And when
I was up all that night. I could not sleep at all. I was processing everything.
And when you were saying like how that ended for Krakow, was like, I did it. It was like beating a video game. It was like doing something important in a story.
That's cool. Gave me chills, man.
Aww.
Like I didn't want to show it like on the stream, but I was like at my heart. Like the reason that I think the reason that Krakow, like I said at the very end, like he opens his window and he shouts, "Eat that, Philamen!" was was like the defensive mechanism for me to like not tear up on stream.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, I almost teared up a bunch of times on stream. I did a few times, like I was getting into it, but yeah, that's cool. Eat that, love it. Makes me feel bad.
That's the great thing about games is they can affect you, bring emotions, and
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely right on stream from video games, so it's definitely okay to cry during something so involved.
Propaganda quote of the night. He should have claimed, "Is this how much you love me, baby?"
You guys have no idea that is an old quote time ago from a very powerful who was so dynamic. That's still, it's
I wish I would have heard more than 33% of that.
I
You're
picked
cutting
up
out
on
a
that.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah, your mic keeps going in and out.
Yeah.
Chris.
oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Better?
Yeah.
I was saying is that what he's quoting there is an old friend, like 25 years ago plus. Kind of a crazy motherfucker, but really intelligent, really smart. A good friend of mine. We lived in a foreign land together, and
Ooh.
one
You
night
keep describing me.
I could be describing anybody.
Oh my.
I say that because I was alive 25 years ago,
Oh wow.
and I think New Jersey is a foreign land to people.
Oh, it is.
It is to me.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Propagander did have a question up there for you, Dre.
Oh, do we got a question?
Yeah, just go up a few.
He says,
What
"What sequence what sequence led you on different path?
On the
What
most
sequence led you on the most different path? Like when did you get most off of rails?"
Let's see.
That's really good. The Rails Trail.
Yeah.
Aww. I missed that.
Well,
I don't.
I think the big thing was there wasn't a lot of paths I was on. Like I approached this campaign with these are the elements in the world, and you guys figured out how to connect the dots. So the thing that probably kind of steered me, I think probably the two brothers that died. That one kind of steered me a little off because I had I was picturing a different path from them with them because they were going to help you out a little bit, but it ended up just not going down that path, so it wasn't really that different.
The brothers. So let me pause you because really that's back to the first hour of this show. You need to go back and listen to what that is about. Those two brothers. That's more important than it sounded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that messed me up a little bit because I don't know, I don't even think I had a name on them yet, but the characters I've already formulated like their life in my head, and then when they got killed without even really being on the show at all, it killed me almost a little bit. I'm like, oh wow, those guys are dead, and that moment there too made me realize how real the world was in my head. And then when you went to go talk to their sister to let her know that yeah they didn't make it, that floored her, and she just walked away because I couldn't do anything else in my mind, and that's what we talked a little bit about at the beginning. And yeah, that one, oh yeah, bringing it up just like getting me all emotional again too because just I went through what she would have went through because she was in the world in my head, and stuff. Because like yeah, it was weird.
Wow.
But the most different paths. That's the thing because I didn't really go on a lot of paths in this.
I think that's it. That would really, truly, that answers that question.
Yeah.
So like the real thing was that like you had the story, you had this path that you wanted us on.
Yeah.
And aside from that part, like we kind of followed it, but like on our own.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
We gotta screw up season 2 real bad, guys.
Just start running in all different directions.
Split the party.
See what happens.
We gotta come up with some crazy shit.
Which, so going back to that, so I think that's one benefit of running something that you've created instead of running like a pre-built scenario. Is if you're in a scenario and your players just leave the book and go some random place, you're kind of like. But if you're able to be more malleable and able to change your directions, like, okay, they went over here, let's throw that book away and let's just see where it happens. Magic happens and it's great. And so as long as you have a general idea of what the world is and you have a few key people, it's amazing. Like when you guys talk to the subconscious in that room. So originally those 3 dragons were guardians of that the other dragon might have called out on you. But the way that you guys went about that thing, it never came up because you guys went too fast and she didn't have a chance to, so she left. Then when you came back, I was like, well, what were these 3 dragons? I was like, oh, maybe that's part of the subconscious of the one who slumbers. I was like, oh, there we go. Let's give them some information that they can work with so they can kind of have an idea of what this world is at this point. And that's where a lot of the reveal happened that way when you guys were talking to them 3.
Nice.
But I think, so that's it. There wasn't a path. It was a forest, and you guys navigated it. So I didn't have any paths in it.
Awesome. Going back, Chris, I'm very sorry that I
Thank you,
derailed
Paul.
and interrupted you.
I didn't even notice you did, my brother.
Oh, okay. So the how much you love me, baby quote, the background again.
I don't know if I can dig all of that in there. I know where he wants to be, but if I can get there. That is a lot of old memories.
Gotcha. Okay. Just do it!
Just do it! So Corey is this mentally unstable, strongly powerful person, but mentally unstable. And he had this kind of passion about life and love. I spent a early part of my life traveling the world. So he was crazy, fun, cool, and capable in awkward but interesting and useful ways. But what he's really getting at too at one point is that this guy in this really terrible situation where he could never get happiness. He was a cook. He loved cooking. And one night in this restaurant, I mean, we're talking like fine dining sort of restaurant. You know, he comes out with the spoon and the 8-inch or the 16-inch pan, and just banging because he's pissed off at the boss, and he's in this fine restaurant in California, and he just banging because he can't get the attention he needs from him. So this guy's got this kind of mental fortitude and guts to be just bang, 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 bang. Is this how much you love me, baby? In front of this guy's entire restaurant. He comes out and he's one of these rare personalities, not only crazy, but really sort of intuitive onto what he was actually seeing in the world at all times. That's where he's trying to go there. I don't even know why, but apparently I've hit it.
Nice. That's cool.
Nice. That's a cool story. I definitely D&D brings out a lot. Like role-playing games in general, I think can bring out a lot of people. It's
there was. I think you have to, the perspective in which we rocked this entire thing with pandemic. Everybody's going down these crazy fucking thought, right? And we're all playing this game in time, mimicking, mirror, everything at the same time. And it was brilliant and beautiful and pretty, and it allowed us to, kind of branch out and say what we're feeling about a lot of things because we were in these circumstances that were mirror. I don't know if Lenny was doing it because seen and he intended to, or it was just because it was just influence that you can't really, you feel influence, but you don't necessarily know you're acting, right? But
or if it's a good influence,
I think it's amazing
that
that how often we found ourselves really playing with topic of the day right there. Game.
Yeah.
Oh, Popper Tim said something. He said, were there any other areas or people that were unexplored that you had planned out or that didn't get explored used to their full depth? Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a lot. I way over-prepared, especially at the beginning. The one that probably rings most with me is Philamen. He had a whole subplot, all kinds of other stuff going on.
I still want to murder that fucker, by the way.
I actually mapped out his whole house and everything. And Philamen by nature was a very flamboyant person.
Makes sense.
And here, I'll spell his name out.
Oh boy. Here's one of Dre's behind the scenes things.
Phenomenon.
Oh boy. I really, really, really wanted to kill that motherfucker.
There's supposed to be an apostrophe in there after the H, which is basically flaming. So he was very flamboyant.
I figured that much.
Yeah.
But
As in, yeah, no, I really wanted him to die in flames so that I could say something relating to his name.
But I love that he actually got...
And by I mean Krakow, not Ryan. Yeah. Of course.
I love that he ended up being the one to get a group of people together, and you had to take him on your ship, too. That was another thing, too. I was like, well, who's going to be holed up in here? Well, then I got down to, okay, you had Jerry, which was your intern guy, that you were very rude to him when you got back because you told him that he sent you the wrong place, where you guys just went to the wrong side of the mountain that he told you. And so you're rude to him, so what's he going to go do? He's going to go sell some information to Philamen about where this cave was, and that's how Philamen got to that cave. He was in there mining it, and then all the hell broke loose, and he was able to get some people there, because ultimately he needed people to take care of him. He wasn't really doing it to protect them. He wanted people to help him live. So he had to start a little commune. That's why his room was off to the end, all nice and stuff, where they were living in the little hay things and everything. But they saw him as their savior too, and you guys had to take him. I was like, oh, this is great. I love it.
Yeah. No, the fact that you made when we had the cob that he had that you knew going into the thing that I had a rival.
Yeah.
And that made him my rival.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the ship that he had his own private room with guards and stuff. I feel like Krakow's kind of crowning moment with that was the dragon, the baby dragons that between Grendelon and the Crystal Copper fighting.
Yeah.
When we managed to kill the dragon, we lost Deliria, but sorry, Cosmo.
Sorry about that.
I hate that the only one that we lost wasn't actually wearing a red shirt either.
Yeah, the only one that we lost was the one that I promoted. You bastard.
We totally lost Nubs. We lost Nubs. Red shirt.
Oh, who?
No, not in that battle.
No.
Not in that battle. Okay, we did lose a red shirt.
I thought we were saying we didn't lose any red shirts.
No.
We didn't lose
It's
a
not
chat named red shirts, but
yeah. No. Nubs was expendable. It's okay. Well, Stubbs was expendable. Nubs survived.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked how after you killed the dragon.
But after doing that, just going back down below deck and going to Philamen's room with his guards and him, I'm just I'm sleeping here tonight. Covered in blood and viscera of a dragon and crewmate. Just I'm sleeping here tonight. This is my room now. Piss the fuck off.
Interesting. I thought that was a fantastically interesting. Because as a character, what were you doing?
As a character, I was making a statement, because Krakow felt from the time that we picked up the crew from Tribus after we had beaten Nuella, and Philomen was essentially established as the survivors' leader, right? So being promoted to Sky General was not necessarily like it was a title. It was not, in stone. Krakow didn't establish himself to the people of Tribus. Philomen did, which warranted, him to have a place for himself and to be guarded and whatnot. And I think that was the moment, dealing the killing blow to this dragon, the space dragon, where the frack it came from, doesn't matter. Warranted, he led the battle, he fought in the battle, he dealt the killing blow, lost a person, went back below deck, deserved a place of comfort, and because of what had happened, kind of earned it without being told that he earned it. He had that space for himself and kicked that bastard out. I think that was more or less, aside from actually killing Philomen in combat, because it never came to that with the rivalry. According to Ryan, that never came to, a thing. There was the rivalry, but then there was never the
closure.
Confrontation. There was never the
true.
confrontation, the direct confrontation between Philomen and Krakow. That was the moment where Krakow established himself as, I'm here, I'm the leader, you're second fiddle, get the hell out of my room.
I see.
Not your room, my room. These are my guards now.
Get out of my ship.
Right.
That's when Sky General took his place.
Yeah.
That was cool. I loved it too. I was like, what would he would just, okay. He was like, all right.
You're covered in
Yeah.
dragon pancreas. So
True.
I'm out.
Oh.
You just murdered a dragon.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna fuck with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so good. I love this stuff. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch all the episodes again just to see the story.
I actually
again.
started doing that.
Oh. Yeah, I wish the audio quality and stuff was more consistent, but we had a little technical stuff.
Yeah, we're learning too. We're learning. We're getting there. We're gonna get better.
They get
Comes with the
as
territory.
far as my audio is horrible for
You cut
What
out.
about your
We can't hear you
audio
at all.
being horrible because it's horrible?
Yeah, you're like
You're like, my
it cuts
audio
in and
is
out.
horrible, and then it was
I don't know if you have a
gone.
noise gate or something going on, but
Yeah.
it's taking you out.
What's going on? I don't know why my audio is so horrible. Was it horrible earlier?
No, it just cuts in and
a
out when
little.
you start talking for more than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Popper has a question, and I think
Oh.
that this is a good spot to end as far as the last question before we conclude. He says, was there a trap you'd set for the party that was thwarted by a silly move?
Yeah, basically, not really silly, but I thought you guys were gonna go down there and fight the dudes that were killing the people. Like when you first came back to the planet, the dudes that are there. Instead, you just used the ship to shoot them. That one was kind of. I was like, oh, this is. I mean, it worked, but it's cool. But I was expecting you guys to go down there and fight the stuff. But I was like, if I was them, I would have did the same thing. So I couldn't have been mad.
That was Chris's idea.
Yeah,
Props to you, because I was ready to go down there and be like, "Let's fucking go!"
Yeah, shoot him.
Sky General Krakow reporting for duty.
But I loved it, so I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." But there was a trap that I was expecting them not to trip because it was very obvious that the door was trapped, and Krakow was like, "I'm just gonna open this door." It's like, okay, boom.
That was our rogue.
Was
Yeah,
that
I was
when
like,
we
all right.
was that when we first?
That's when I
entered
started thinking
that cave?
maybe I ought to be a rogue.
Yeah, when you got to the cave and the first door you come to is already knocked off the hinges, somebody went through, and then the next door you come to has a scorch mark at the ground and a skeleton with his leg blown off. Like, huh? You go look in there and like, let's go up the stairs that the dude didn't make it to. Let's open this door. It's like, oh, okay.
You know why I did that? You know why I did that?
You have no intelligence.
And
Your character, not you, Ryan. I love you.
I know. I understand.
No, she's
I
like
know. No. I know what she. I know what she said, and I know what she meant, and I know what she also meant.
Yeah, what's accurate?
Ouch!
Triple
I felt that over here.
But I figured, Krakow figured, trap has already been exploded.
On the other door.
Why would it be set again?
Go boom once.
I get it. I get it.
It can
It
only
wouldn't have been
explode
said.
once,
That
right?
one wasn't tripped yet.
Who are these high-tech fuckers?
Okay.
I was surprised that the rod didn't get used a whole lot.
We used
The,
it in pivotal
immovable rod.
points.
I tried to, but then like you were like, well, Evelina has Featherfall.
Featherfall.
Oh, that's true.
Because like I was totally, I totally had my like my very ambiguous Featherfall.
Yeah. Oh, what did you do that? That would have been great.
I love it.
That's what happens when you use the immovable rod like two extremes. It'd be a shame if the button that stops it fails.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Be hilarious.
Oh shit!
Here we are as Ryan describes the button.
Wile E. Coyote style, just like click. Bye.
Oh, that's cool. So much fun. What? Panic's like,
Bullets were like, "Is this how much you love us, baby?" You know what? Now that quote makes a lot of sense.
Doesn't it?
It does.
Now you know the story.
I'm glad you told the story. When is the next adventure? That is a great question to end.
questions. I thought we said there weren't any more questions.
On.
Yeah,
No, wait, there has to be
No.
one more question.
Sorry.
When is Tribus
Next time.
2?
Before you.
When
I saw there
is
was mention in there
Tribus
about
2?
my appearance changing, so I got a new job. So I'm waiting till my schedule irons out before I make any commitments.
Fair enough. Yes, we will. We will henceforth probably be on hiatus with, I guess, circumstances permitting. I mean, next week definitely I won't be here. If y'all decide to do something, go for it. But I will be in Boston for PAX East.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, birthday present from the girlfriend.
You pointed at Chris.
I know, I was like, wait, what?
The girlfriend.
From the girlfriend.
You're like, we should
Thank you, Chris. You're the best. No, but Kelly, it was the birthday present from Kelly that we would go to PAX East in Boston because I've never been either to Boston or to PAX East, so we're going. So, hiya. So in the meantime, here's this music. I don't know. In the meantime, we're not going to be here. Generally, we're going to discuss off stream like what exactly we're going to be doing in the interim between season 1 and season 2. If season 2 is a thing, that is still even up in the air.
Totally.
No, you're
Chris is like, I don't care. I'm going to make a season 2 myself.
Honestly,
Right.
like I said, kind of like at the beginning of the show, Dre kind of has the reins for this. I've given him permission to whether he wants to run a one shot, or for me to run a parsley, or to do anything kind of like RPG related. Like that is what we collectively will do and decide upon for the foreseeable future. As of right now, this moment at 10:19 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on April 14th.
2022.
2022.
Damn it, Dre.
All in.
I mean, yeah, true. This campaign did start in 2021, back in September.
I got you. Yeah.
I think it was September when we started. But
Which year?
No, it had to be sooner than that.
Which year?
no, I think it was like the beginning of September when we like at
Really?
least, well, maybe not.
Did we
Maybe
do this
August.
more
No,
than a
because
year?
I moved the
It may have
last
been
week of
August.
July.
Then it was August. All right. So anyway, not the important part of the statement that I'm making. So the important part of the statement that I'm making is that future episodes on Thursday, or future streams on Thursday, will kind of be determined by what we have, essentially, until something gets put in place by Dre, because he is going to be our resident DM when when things get going on, because I
I
think
thought I was
he's
going to get to
more
retire the shirt.
more than proved himself worthy. In other news, other than being a viewer here on a consistent basis, the other more sadistic reason, for better or worse, that Panic is here.
Oh, that sounds so accurate.
Petty's Panic's head. That's creepy.
Sadistic or masochistic reason that Panic is here is that when we get back onto our long form role-playing campaign, he will be joining us as a player.
Yes.
And I can't be more happy for now to
I think it means scared.
the
First
word.
mistake. Now you're inviting Panic. That's your second mistake.
Yeah, that's man. Us
No.
together, just yikes.
Mistake
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Try to DM D&D. Mistake 2. Invite Panic to play D&D.
Yep.
We're going to need a stronger
I'm sure it'll be great. We love Panic.
Maybe.
We love the Panic Games. We're very, very happy to have Panic Games join us for our D&D streams. And we're going to have him moving forward.
I'm excited for sure to get back in this.
I should panic and run for the hills, said Pauper Ken.
Because we all know he typed stuff in chat. It's a lot easier to say that stuff. So he had to
Exactly.
type it.
Yeah.
So it's probably
He
They get
has
much
the
worse.
filter.
Yeah, no. So imagine, I had to
This
type
is
that out
true.
and maybe think.
I can only imagine the
Just stream
fun
consciousness.
And the thing is, I've already established this stream that I don't pay much attention to the chat. So whatever he has said in the past,
Oh.
1, I don't take responsibility for. 2, I do not condone. And
That's how I
3,
got it.
I heartfully welcome.
Oh, good. Say, that's how I got on this. He didn't read what I wrote.
Yeah, exactly. So, so that is going to be the amazing thing that is things that are ahead of us. There may or may not be updates on social media because Jen is kind of incapacitated with clinicals right now.
I'll post something on mine if it has to happen.
Yeah, put it. Follow Draylin13
On Instagram.
There you
He'll
go.
do the things that I don't want to or nor have the capacity to do.
I didn't post today because I posted the last few times we've tried to do this and it's always got canceled. I'm like, I'm not going to post anything. Maybe it'll actually happen.
Yeah, I really want to
And it
post
did.
something. He's like,
Jinx
don't
it.
do it. You'll jinx
Yeah,
it.
I'm not posting anything today. But in the future, I'll post.
Not bad.
I also want to say Dre finally got to 100 followers on his channel.
Nice.
Wow.
Congrats, Dre.
No. Well, I think I'm gonna stream tomorrow. Then we're gonna stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
Go for it. Stream tomorrow.
Cool.
Hey,
Yeah,
Meeple Grande, are you doing a thing tomorrow?
I am.
Sweet.
I will be doing BGA with chat, and then I'm going to go hang out with Dre and play retro stuff.
I will likely be joining you then tomorrow.
Yeah? Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
Always miss you.
because I'm supposed to be off tomorrow, but I'm
Yeah.
going to be working tomorrow because reasons. But I'm not going to be working a full day tomorrow because reasons. I'm not going to be working a full
Alright.
day tomorrow because I was supposed to be off tomorrow in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm off
So-
tomorrow, but I'm building a gazebo.
So that is that.
Even a
And
movie.
noise. What movie are you streaming, Panic?
Oh, and for Easter, we figured Velocipaster would be a good choice for Freaky Film
I've
Friday.
seen it. It is
Such
good.
a terrible movie.
Did you say Velocipaster?
Yes.
Velocipaster.
It is good.
It is.
I just want to check. Make sure I heard
Hannah's
that right.
channel is
Long and watch.
fantastic for terrible movies
Chris.
on Friday nights.
Yes.
You have
Chris.
to go in and watch.
Yep.
I'm
Go-
pretty
go-
sure I saw the whole movie in the then.
Yeah.
I got it.
You did, but you should still see it to verify those claims.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's much
Come watch
better
us
than
rip
you
on
think.
it, along
Not
with
much
Chad.
better, I mean worse.
Yes, absolutely. No, it's a great terrible movie.
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster, yes.
If
I was
you're
like,
watching
hey, it's
us
going
on,
to be Easter. This is what you should watch, Panic.
If you're
It's
watching-
fantastic.
What's from the mind of Misty on this one? I give her full credit on that one.
so if you're watching us on Twitch right now, then that is where you can find Misty of Meeple Grande fame tomorrow at what time?
4 p.m. Eastern.
4 p.m. Eastern, playing games on Board Game Arena. And you can find the Panic Games streaming a watch party of Velocipaster at what time?
9 o'clock Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern
Yes,
time.
9 p.m.
9 p.m. 9. Sorry.
my.
And sorry. And then you'll be able to find us at some point in the future. We're still kind of currently figuring scheduling things out. Chris, what do you have for us?
Yeah.
I have for you.
You have cake?
You know what? Seriously,
be
don't
on
forget
that.
about Propaganda over here. He is doing fantastic things. Magic the Gathering, Popper style, Eastern time.
Yes.
12 noon on Saturdays, Western time, 8. Or wait, did I get that wrong? No, that's right.
Yes.
Okay.
9, 10. Did I get that right? Popper?
9. I think 3 hours different.
Yeah, it's 3. No, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. 9. There we go. That was what was wrong.
I heard 3, 8, 9, 12. Check Propaganda out. Follow them
Get a
and
notification.
click and make sure that you hit the notification button so that
And then you'll actually know.
you'll actually know when they're live wherever you are in the world.
That's a StarTAC. Did you see that? That's a
Yeah, use
StarTAC.
that.
Dude, that is a StarTAC phone.
That is amazing.
And he didn't prompt me. I
Crazy.
didn't bring it up earlier because
That is
he
very,
had
very
one.
true.
I said it. He went and got it. That's just weird.
He just has it.
Weird.
Closet of old tech.
All kinds of crap.
You have
And
There
for
we go.
our viewers on YouTube, follow our social media, twitch.tv/thewholecard, and then twitch.tv/thewholecard. Also Facebook, check out the whole card. And on Instagram, also the whole card. That is where we are. And that way you will be able to follow us if you enjoy our program. We hope that you do, and we hope that we see you next time here live on Twitch rather than YouTube. But if you watch us on YouTube, that's go ahead and do that. Anyway,
Come watch this on Twitch.
for yes and no. Like, we're there, but we don't do that so much. Thanks for calling me out on that, Chris.
I missed something.
Damn it! Let me do my outro. for Missy, for Chris, for our wonderful DM Dre, for myself, Ryan, and for our new player and joiner of our wonderful card of Cobbs.
Welcome, Panic Games.
Welcome, the Panic Games.
Yes. Thank you.
Have a wonderful night, Twitch and or YouTube. From all of us here, now go play. Bye.
Do I hit the button now?
Yeah, hit the
Well, totally-
Oh, okay.